WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, an Odyssey sports station. WFAN Sports Flash.
Good morning at 10 o'clock. I'm Chris Lopresti. This report is sponsored by Primo Brands, the official water sponsor of MLB. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. Big moment for Yankees newcomer David Bednar yesterday in Arlington. 5-out save, all via the strikeout on 42 pitches to nail down a 3-2 win over the Rangers. Got the first 2 outs of the ninth, but then allowed a walk and a single. So Aaron Boone went to the mound for a chat with cleanup man Adolis Garcia coming to the plate.
Yeah, I was going to take him out, honestly. I said, I'm going to take you here. And he gave me a look like, no, you're not. And, so I said, you sure? And he's like, yeah, let's go. I got this guy.
And he did help the Yanks avoid a 6th straight loss. They stay in wild card positioning ahead of Texas. Also clinched the season-long tiebreaker with the Rangers. The Yanks get a much-needed win into an off day ahead of a weekend series with the Astros, which begins tomorrow night. Meantime, this was Mets manager Carlos Mendoza hours before his team was nearly no-hit by Gavin Williams and the Guardians as he joined Sal Licata here on The Fan talking about his struggling offense.
1 through 9 or whoever's in the lineup, we got to be better. And we understand that. And like I said, we're doing everything in our power to get these guys going.
They did not get going on Wednesday. They lost 8 of 9 since that 7-game winning streak shortly after the All-Star break. They've also got the day off ahead of a weekend series on the road against the first-place Milwaukee Brewers, who have won 6 straight and 9 out of 10. Fan weather sponsored by Cars for Kids. Cars with a K. WFAN congratulates Cars for Kids on 30 years of turning car donations into supporting children. Cars for Kids has helped more than 100,000 kids nationwide. Donate your used car today at carsforkids.org and join 1 million proud donors making a real difference. We've got 74 degrees, sunny skies in Central Park, and with Sports Flashes at the top of the hour, I'm Chris Lopresti.
It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
I get going nuts and yelling and screaming and flipping out. And these guys got to do this and this team has to do that. I don't understand the overwhelming negativity that surrounds the New York Mets. And I read the Post, and Vaccaro, who's usually got, he's a very emotional, obviously, writer, which makes him so great. He's calling, instead of the dog days of August, dog bleep in what the Mets are doing, scraping the bottom of the barrel, rock bottom. Obviously, yesterday we went over the Mets and Yankees both, and I was trying to be positive there, saying that I still believe in both these teams. And, of course, the Yankees go out there and get a win, a much-needed win, so we can get more into that. And the Mets almost get no hit. I mean, I get it. It's frustrating. Losers of 8 of 9. Should have gotten no hit. Thank goodness for Juan Soto, who, after getting the booze, goes out there, breaks up the no-hitter with a home run. And clearly there's something off with this group, whether it's the chemistry. Obviously, there hasn't been the consistency, but calm down. Calm down. They're 2.5 games out of first place. They're still a team that's well over 500. They're right there to win the division. They're in a playoff spot comfortably, I might add. 2 weeks ago, they won 7 in a row. Okay, so LOL Mets, you want to rip the Mets? Okay, do you not think Juan Soto's going to get it turned around? And just like you did in April, May, right? Now, it was one thing for me to get on him after 20 games. Hey, what's with the slow start? But all the time, we knew Juan Soto was going to get it going at some point and turn it around. He did. He had a ridiculous June. Has it been a great season for Soto? No, but there were 48 games to go, 47, whatever it is, the exact math. And if he goes nuts in the postseason, will anybody give a crap? And the potential is still... it's still all there. That's the thing that's most important to me. For years, especially from a Mets fan perspective, because like it or not, the Yankees already have achieved the sustained success. Like, their floor has been raised for 30 years. The Mets' floor is just being raised now. So I don't know how Met fans can go nuts and start ripping the team apart because of a losing streak, not to mention 2 weeks after winning 7 in a row. But they go nuts when, what more do you want the owner to do? David Stearns isn't perfect. All right, you're going to pick on him for Frankie Montas? We all knew Montas stunk. They're going to try him Saturday and see if he can pitch, whether it's behind an opener or starting. If he doesn't get the job done, he's going to be out. You know that they've held guys accountable. And that's not even the biggest part. Minaya is going to build himself back up. He's getting there. Unfortunately, the guy was hurt half the year. Senga, same thing. He's banged up, and he's not a guy that's getting a great length anyway, but he'll be better than what he's been. They're going to have to go into the minor leagues and call up one of these guys. Okay, and then we'll find out about Sproat or McLean. But they were built to hit, and there are inconsistencies in the offense. Does that mean that you'd rather have somebody different than Lindor, Soto, and Alonso? I wouldn't. I mean, if you're not going to trust and believe in Lindor, Soto, and Alonso, I don't know what to tell you. It's not John Mayberry Jr. and Eric Campbell. Come on. There's at least legit reason to say, you know what? This sucks. It's frustrating. I get it. They're testing all of our patience. And I'm not trying to be Mr. Positive. You should know that by now. I'm not Loogie, who I think is over the top with the positive. And that's him. PT can do whatever he wants. SAL is going to do what he wants. And my feel right now is while it's frustrating, while it's annoying, while we all acknowledge that they have to play better, I don't look at the Mets as a bad baseball team. Are they the best baseball team? No. But they could be come October. I mean, that's the way that the sport is. And the reason why I believe that they could become October is because of Soto. Now, if he doesn't hit, whether it's the next 40-something games, whether it's in the postseason, guess what? They're going to lose. And then at that point, what are you going to say? You're going to say the guys didn't get their job didn't get the job done. You're not going to say you want somebody different than Soto. I mean, could you say change the chemistry up a little bit, change the pieces? I don't believe in the core that has been here with McNeil, Alonso, Lindor, Nimmo. I've said that on record many different times. However, with that group, they got to the NLCS a year ago. And now they've added Juan Soto. So McNeil's not really part of the core. I don't trust Brandon Nimmo. I wish I did. I don't. But the other three, Lindor, Alonso, Soto, at some point, they are going to get going. They've done it already this year. Like, let's not make it like it's been a whole year of struggles. And you can come up with any dates and any records, any numbers since whichever date. I mean, since July, everybody's making like, June 13th, whatever. Yeah, it's obviously hasn't been as good as it was prior to June 13th. But from July on, they're a 500 team. Is that the worst thing in the world? Teams go through bad spurts. You win 7 in a row, you lose 8 or 9. It happens. I hate the inconsistencies. I hate the roller coaster nature of it. It doesn't mean that they're a bad ball club and everybody needs to be fired and guys are getting booed. And look, I understand the frustrations from the fans. You're out there yesterday. You're paying good money to go to that game and you get nothing. They're getting no hit. They're getting embarrassed. So I could get that to a certain extent. But, the Mets they're 2.5 games out of first place. So as bad as they've been, as inconsistent as they've been, the big bad Phillies, who everybody loves, Bryce Harper, the Phillies pitching, look at the moves that they made. Everybody loves the Phillies. They're only 2.5 games better than the Mets, and I'm supposed to go nuts? I mean, the Brewers have been playing over their heads. They have 70 wins, best team in baseball, sure. Look at the big bad Dodgers. What's the Dodgers record? Are they that much better than the Mets? How come it only pertains to the Yankees when we say, well, look at everybody else? The Yankees will be fine because everybody else in the American League isn't any good. The Dodgers have 66 wins. The Mets have 63. Ooh, whoa. Man, Mets better fold up shop. Not good enough. I will yell and scream and complain and hold teams and players accountable whenever it calls for it. And obviously, the Mets offense not doing the job. But look at the roster. Look at the bullpen, the way that that's set up. Even look at the rotation, which is healthy for the first time all year. And by the way, getting healthier, meaning building up Minaya and Senga coming back. They've still only been back for a few starts here. It might take some time. Unfortunately, now they're running out of time. And if they don't get built up and they can't give quality starts, guess what? Mets aren't going to win. And then you could say, well, here's what you think that they need. But from where they were to where they are today, I have a hard time going all the way back to being overwhelmingly negative with this group that at the very least you have to believe in to a certain extent. Maybe some believe more than I do. Maybe some believe less than I do. You got to believe to a certain extent that the guys that they have, specifically Lindor, Soto, Alonso, will get it going together at some point. If they don't, they're going home early. End of story. And what are you going to complain about? Lindor's not going anywhere. Soto's not going anywhere. And you all want Alonso here. So what exactly is, where's the complaint box? Why is it filling up right now? Where's the negativity coming from? It's a rough patch, a bad streak. Have they been great for the last 2 months? No, haven't been great, but they're just as good as everybody else. Take their best months and put it up against the other team's best months. It was as good as anybody else. April, May, right up until June 13th, Mets were one of, if not the best team in all of Major League Baseball. So we know the potential is there. And that was before they were even fully healthy. And really before Soto got going. They have the pieces. That's, to me, the most important part. For years, yelling and screaming and banging the desk, God, you got to get this, you got to get that. They've done that. Now it is on the manager and the coaches to unlock the best of the players. But they have everything that they need to go out there and compete at the highest level. Do I think they're going to win the World Series? No. Do I believe Juan Soto's going to go nuts in the postseason? I do. I think the pitching will get straightened out, at the very least to a certain extent. 5, 6 quality innings from the majority of starters that they have. Minaya, Senga, Peterson. Pitching hasn't been the biggest problem. Montas has been awful. Holmes, like those guys will be fine. And the fifth guy in the rotation isn't going to be in the rotation come October, assuming that they get there, and I assume that they will. So eliminate the fifth starter. If you assume that they get to the postseason, if they don't, it's a disaster. Then everybody could go nuts. But they have a 3-game lead on the last wild card spot. And they're still only 2.5 back of the division. So, I'm not even thinking no postseason. I'm not even thinking that with the Yankees. And they were on the verge of being out of a spot yesterday. So I'm certainly thinking the Mets are going to be a postseason team. So if one of your biggest fears is Frankie Montas or do one of the younger guys have it, they're not going to be in the equation come postseason. Assuming that Minaya, Senga, Peterson, and Holmes stay healthy. And if not, still, okay, you replace one of those guys with one of the younger guys. Or Tyler or McGill or whatever. I'm not worried about that. The bullpen is absolutely loaded. I'm worried that the bullpen's going to be overtaxed by the time they get to October. If the starters can't figure it out, different story. But their bullpen's loaded. Raley, Soto, Helsley, Rogers, Diaz. That's loaded. Okay, so then what's the issue? Look at the lineup. Vientos has been terrible this year. Whose fault is that? Everybody loved Vientos a year ago. You guys were calling getting on me. How are you so negative on Vientos? You hated Vientos. You didn't want him. Now all of a sudden it's everybody. The Mets stink. Well, look at Vientos. What has he done? Alvarez been better, but he's still not good enough to what he was supposed to do. I don't want Beatty on the team. I'd rather have Acuna. Mauricio's good. He's got some potential, but he's still a young player. All right, there are some issues there. But really the main issue is Nimmo's inconsistencies, Lindor's inconsistencies, and Juan Soto has been nowhere near what he was supposed to be. So it's not that the Mets stink. It's not that they need to fire this guy, fire that guy. It's that we're waiting for those guys to reach their full potential. If they do, the Mets have a shot. If they don't, it's a wrap. Go get them next year. That's it. But I don't think it's cause to be overwhelmingly negative, which is the feel that I get. Frustrated? Absolutely. You think this team stinks? You think the Mets are a bad team? You weren't saying that 2 weeks ago when they were in the midst of a 7-game winning streak. The ups and downs, I don't like it. I like consistency. I don't like the roller coaster ride. Any of them. Reality, sports-wise, I don't like the roller coaster ride. But come on. The Mets still have a good team. They just got to start playing better. It's as simple as that. And what better time than now? By the way, they still have 7 head-to-head with the Phillies. You want to go nuts after they lose to the Phillies? Understood. Because that will put the fork in them. If they lose the majority of those 7 games to the Phils, they're not going to win the division. And then they're going to be up against it. I'm not seeing, and look, maybe I'm wrong here. I'm not seeing the bad signs that everybody's overreacting to, losing hope of what this ball club could be. And not even hope. I don't even know if I like that word, but I just believe that they have good enough players that will get it turned around and it will look much better. Maybe starting this weekend in Milwaukee when the expectation is they're going to get destroyed by Milwaukee. And they've beaten good teams before. They have been a good team. Even with their rough stretches, they still are one of the better teams. To what extent? We're going to find out. But Cohen, Stearns, they've pretty much done as much as they could do. It's on the players and the manager to figure out here over the next 40-something games and go win the division. BT and Sal on the Fan, BT on vacation. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Now, yesterday we had the manager of the Mets on. Today, we have a very special guest coming up at 11 o'clock. The manager and leader and Hall of Famer when it comes to New York sports, Mike Francesa will be joining the show coming up at 11 o'clock. Can't wait to actually talk to Mike and get to, obviously, he was, Mr. Millions this week with all the views that he got with that commercial with the Giants and Giants. Well, I have a feeling Mike is going to be a little bit better than Dan and Warwick was earlier in the week. So we'll talk to Mike coming up at 11 o'clock, get his thoughts on all things with the Mets and Yankees, and obviously have some fun with that Giants and Giants meeting. Larry is in Westchester. What's up, Larry?
Hey, Sal, how you doing, buddy?
How are you, Larry?
Good. Listen, Sal, I wish I could share your optimism about the Mets, but I just can't. I've been following this team for 60 years, and it's the same old movie year after year after year, ending in frustration. It doesn't matter who they get. They just do not hit in the clutch. If it was me running this team, after this season is over, I would tear it down from the top. The first guy I would get rid of or try to, and they probably could move him, is Nimmo, because he still has 3 years left. I think about $20 million a year.
I said that months ago, Larry, I would trade Nimmo, and I do think that there's some value there. I can't continue to hope that Nimmo's going to figure it out. I know when he's rolling, it makes everything look different. He's just way too inconsistent, but I don't know what the value is going to be in return.
Absolutely, Sal. I mean, they should be able to get something for this guy. It's been, 8 years with Nimmo? He still hasn't figured it out.
Yeah.
And, again, you could probably make a play for a guy like Tucker in the offseason. Now, the next thing I'm going to tell you is going to be a shock. If Alonso wants to opt out at the end of this year and they still keep playing this inconsistency, I'd say, Pete, go by, see what you can get.
Well, I mean, that's another thing.
Change.
It's another thing I've been saying for a long time, Larry, and thank you for the call. Here's the issue. Right now, no changes are going to be made. So they're going to, and this is year 2 of David Stearns, they're going to evaluate what happens the rest of the way with this group. I was disappointed they didn't trade Jeff McNeil, whether it's before the year, whether it's during the year. And I know some fans look at him and say, well, he's versatile, he's useful. Yeah, he could be, but I was looking for a little more shake-it-up trade at the deadline. I said that. That's why I gave both the Mets and Yankees an A. I wanted an A+. You want to win a World Series, you got to get to A+. Not A. Yeah, okay, well, you needed, they did the bare minimum. Mets needed the bullpen. They got one. They needed the center fielder. They got one. Not the one, but they got one. I was looking for a little more shake it up. Either move Vientos, trade McNeil. Nimmo at that point wasn't a thought, but I said I would do that early in the year. I do think if the Mets fall short and lose the division, or get into the obviously if they miss the postseason, they're going to have to change some stuff with the roster. But let's say they get in and have a quick ouster, one round and wild card round, and they're out. If I'm David Stearns, and I would assume that David Stearns is going to do this, I'm looking to make changes now as opposed to later. Meaning Nimmo. Meaning, okay, maybe it's easier to let Alonso walk, even though he has the record, even though Met fans love him. If this group doesn't get it done, they have to assess everything, why it didn't get done. Why is the chemistry maybe not what it was a year ago? Why the inconsistencies? But that's not a talking point now. Now we're in the midst of it. Now we're in the midst of the run. The division's right there. They got 7 games with the Phillies. They beaten the Phillies this year. Let's see what they could do. If they get beat, different story. Then you could say, okay, well, you know what? Definitively, we know this group doesn't have it. I would never run it back with the same exact group. Obviously, Lindor and Soto are going to be here. Everybody else, who knows? What other moves can they make? Whether it's spending money, whether it's making a big trade. But that's not a conversation for August, whatever the hell it is. 6th, 7th? What day is it today? 7th? That's a conversation for October 7th. There's so many times as a sports fan. This is me talking to you here. There are so many times as a sports fan with great reason to be ticked off and negative about the teams that we root for. To me, with the Mets, while this is obviously a rough patch and obviously frustrating, losing 8 of 9, coming down the home stretch here, early August, with just under 2 months to go in the season, obviously it's frustrating. I don't believe this is the time to be overwhelmingly negative. Rob is on Long Island. What's up, Rob?
Hey, Sal. Thanks for taking the call. Hey, you're 100% right. It's going to come down to managers, pitching coaches, hitting coaches, getting their players to perform. I think it's going to be a real exciting going into the rest of the season here. You got to remember the roster is at 28 players right now, but going September 1st, it'll bump up to 40 as active roster players. So who they put in and play, it's almost like they're showcasing who's going to play well now for the rest of the season. But the players will play as they play. It's a very watered-down season this year. 70 wins. What do you think is going to be the top number for a division win this year?
Yeah, that's a
94,
good question.
95, 96?
It's a good question. I think the Phillies could get to 90. I mean, they got 65 right now. Let's see, they're 65 and 49 to do the quick math. If they played 114 games, right? I mean, that's what we're at right now. 114, 162 minus 114. So 48 games to go. Of those 48, 65. Yeah, I mean, I think the Phillies could get there. I mean, the Phillies could get easily. So I think to win the division, you're going to have to win 90-plus games. And maybe the Mets can't get there. And maybe that's why the Phillies will win the division. But at the very least, they better make the playoffs. Let me ask it this way, Rob. Forget about the division for a second. Do you trust David Stearns? You talk about the roster when it gets expanded. Do you trust David Stearns and Carlos Mendoza to trim the fat and clean this thing up and get it tight, the roster and who they use and how they use them down the stretch?
And that's a great question, $64,000 question. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, what's your answer? What's your answer now? If I had to get an answer from you now, do you trust Mendy and Stearns?
I see both Mets and Yanks making the playoffs this year. They can't play any worse than they are already right now.
I get it. Me too. And thanks for the call. Hoff, Rob wouldn't answer the question. I'm going to ask you the question. Do you trust David Stearns and Carlos Mendoza to clean this thing up, tighten up the roster, put guys in the right spot, use the right people the rest of the way down the stretch?
I want to say yes. I do trust Carlos Mendoza to do that. David Stearns, I'm starting to think twice about because I feel like he's trying to be too smart. I think he's kind of missing some spots.
You see, to me, this is a simple answer. And the answer is yes, I do. I trust that if Frankie Montas does not pitch well Saturday in whatever role that he has, David Stearns is going to say, okay, adios. Now, whether that means to the bullpen, I don't know what they're going to do. Like roster-wise, can they send him down? They're just going to cut him. I fully believe that David Stearns knows enough to know that he can't keep forcing Frankie Montas out there. And Saturday will be the final test for Montas. If he pitches well or is decent, then he's going to get another shot. If he doesn't, I trust that Stearns is going to do the right thing. So that's why I say Stearns and Mendoza, that combination, they've done it. They've done it before. They've held their players and roster accountable. They want to win the division. You heard Mendy with me yesterday. This is not about just making the playoffs and see what happens. They are going for the division. They're not going to sit on their hands here with 48 games or 47 games to go. So I do trust Stearns and Mendy to clean that up. The next question would be, do you trust the players? Some I do, some I don't. But it should be enough to, at the very least, get to the postseason and have the potential to do some damage. BT and Sal on the Fan. More of your calls when we come back. Mike Francesa will join me at 11 o'clock. Looking forward to that. 888-808-1019.
Going on a drive deep to left. Got a chance. Giddy up, baby.
The Yankees are back in the Bronx taking on the Astros. 7:05 tomorrow night. Driven by Jeep.
And it is gone.
That was an extraordinary play.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all the play-by-play on the home of Yankees baseball. The Fan, 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Juice box. I'm a mom.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check. Oh, hot sauce. Take it.
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins, a balloon. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 per month on Experience Beyond. Finance agreement $829.99 and qualifying boarding. For well-qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay out via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Looking for the ultimate family day trip? American Dream has it all, and it's just minutes from Manhattan. Over 25 indoor attractions, plus hundreds of shopping and dining options. There's something for everyone. Book now. Your kids will thank you. AmericanDream.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
Here is your Game of the Week, presented by Hyundai. Football is back. Even though it's preseason, we got a chance to see the newest players in the league hit the field for the first time. One to watch, Las Vegas' new rookie running back, who was highly touted coming into the draft. He'll have a chance to prove his worth early, as the new coaching regime will lean on him heavily throughout the season. And we'll keep an eye on the new Vegas head coach, who looks for revenge against his former team in Seattle. No one likes having to choose. That's why with America's best lineup of hybrids from Hyundai, you get the best of both worlds. Like the reliable and efficient Tucson Hybrid with America's best warranty, or the stylish yet capable Santa Fe Hybrid with the power to navigate the toughest terrain. It's like having your cake and eating it too, but you know, better. Hybrids from Hyundai. It's the best of both worlds. America's best warranty claim based on total package of warranty programs. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
How good is a perfectly cooked tomahawk steak? The Chef IQ Sense is the wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your meat. Order the newly released third-generation Chef IQ Sense now and enter code word BOOMER for 15% off at chefiq.com.
Get to Citi Field when the Mets host the Atlanta Braves and Seattle Mariners. The division rival Braves are in Tuesday, August 12th through Thursday, August 14th. The homestand continues against the Mariners Friday, August 15th and Saturday, August 16th. The first 15,000 fans at Friday's game will get a Shea Stadium replica from Canon. Stay after the game for fireworks, weather permitting. Then on Sunday, the first 15,000 fans will receive a Juan Soto bobblehead from Delta Airlines. Get your tickets now at Mets.com/tickets.
The back-to-school deals at Kohl's are so good, it'll feel like spoiling yourself. With 20% off the stuff your kids will actually wear, like jeans, tees, sneakers, and more. You can do it all without overdoing your budget. See? Sometimes parents get spoiled, too. Head to Kohl's or Kohls.com to start the year off right for less. Select styles. Coupon ends August 10th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Mercedes-Benz of Union, and Ray Cattina of Freehold. 3 powerhouse locations in New Jersey. 1 legendary name, Ray Cattina. More inventory, featuring one of the East Coast's largest selections of new and pre-owned Mercedes-Benz vehicles. More convenience with 3 state-of-the-art service centers to keep your Mercedes-Benz running like new. And of course, legendary Ray Cattina customer service, where you always come first. Experience the power of 3 at benzfam.com.
Catch all the play-by-play with Susan Waldman and Dave Sims. The home of Yankees radio. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn.
We'll have Mike Francesa joining the show in about a half hour. Can't wait to talk New York sports with the legend himself. Now, here's an issue that I have as I'm trying to be positive today and not rip the Mets with legit reason. Like, they could fail. Sure, they could miss the postseason. I don't have that impending doom feeling with this group. I believe in Lindor. I believe in Soto. I believe in Stearns and Mendy. I believe in Senga to a certain extent. Minaya, more so than even Senga. I believe in Peterson. I certainly believe in the bullpen. Alonso, I'm like torn with. If you asked me before last October, I'd say no, and I did say no. And if you asked me post-October and obviously what he's done this year, yes, even with the inconsistencies, but still. But here's where I have to take some issue with the Mets. I just saw them, I guess this was 15 minutes ago here on their social media account. They posted Beatles Night, Friday, August 15th. Celebrate the 60th anniversary of their iconic show at Shea Stadium with a pregame concert. 1964, obviously a tribute for that. A pregame concert by 1964, the tribute, a special post-game fireworks show as well. And then they have a, what do you call it? Like the billboard or whatever, the promotional poster here. The Beatles Night, and it has Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Nimmo, kind of in their own version walking across Abbey Road in front of Citi Field. Like, That's my issue. And I had an issue with it when Cohen said it initially, labeling them the core four or whatever it was. That I didn't even think it was Beatle thing. I thought it was more the Yankee thing. Like, that's my issue. The Mets have, to me, a big 2.5, sometimes 3, definitely not a core 4. I mean, sometimes 4, sometimes 3.5. Lindor, Soto are the clear stars of this team. And how did those two vibe and click and chemistry-wise? I'm not so sure. Maybe that's part of the issue this year where we saw chemistry was something that carried the Mets a year ago. Why would a team, or at least a group of those talented offensive individuals, why would they not be able to get it going? Soto after the game yesterday. Hey, what's going on, Juan? I don't know. We talked to Mendy before the game yesterday, before they almost got no hit. Not really no answers. Like, we're working hard on it. Guys are hitting the ball hard. It'll get turned around, but there are no answers. The answers for years was, well, get better players. Right now, you'd be hard-pressed to get a better player than Lindor and Soto. Forget about their numbers overall or their inconsistencies. Look around the league. That's why I can't go nuts. I don't know what the future holds for Alonso. Obviously, Nimmo's under contract, but these, Nimmo's here for a while. At least based on the contract, Lindor and Soto certainly aren't going anywhere. They got to figure it out. Brian is in Westfield. What's up, Brian?
How you doing, Sal? First-time caller.
What's up, Brian?
Good. I was at the Mets game yesterday, and, I've been a Mets fan since probably 1972, and I can deal with a lot of things. What I can't deal with is a lack of effort. And who I mean is Soto. I watch players busting their ass to go down the first base line, and I'm watching him ground out and jogging down the first base line. And look, teams are going to hit. They're not going to hit. But I just can't deal with the lack of effort. He looks like he's overweight. He looks like he's lazy. He looks like he doesn't want to be there. And, not what I was expecting at all. I don't know if he's injured or not, but he just looked old and slow, and I know he's a young man, so I just can't figure it out.
Yeah, well, I think that's what you're seeing. I'm not seeing that, and we're watching the same games, and thank you for the call, Brian, and you're entitled to your opinion. I'm not seeing that at all. I think it's easy to make Juan Soto the whipping boy because of the contract, because of sometimes visually with him where, maybe you don't feel a max out player or, all out effort. I think Soto gives plenty of effort. He's not the greatest defensive player. I think he's got a high baseball IQ. I've seen effort from him. I see that he's engaged in the game. He's been excellent as far as stolen bases go this year, a career high for him. The idea that he's out of shape to me is ridiculous. That's something that's made up on the internet. I'm just not seeing that. You're entitled to your opinion, and obviously there were times where Soto wasn't hustling all out this year. But there are certain things that you need from certain players. I don't need. Look at every other player. Francisco Lindor running as hard as he possibly can every time down the first baseline on a ground ball. He's not. And I'm not knocking him for it. I'm just saying, that's normal. You don't need guys to go 110% down the line when there's a ground out. You want him to run, sure, but not like that. Nimmo may be the best hustle player on the Mets, who's running the first base even on a walk. You know, a lot Alonso plays hard. Like, they play, I think the Mets play hard. I don't think it's a lack of effort thing. I could see how sometimes the body language with Soto would tell you that maybe you feel like it's not max effort or that he doesn't care. He does. And if you watch and pay close attention to it, you could see that. He's just, it's a different way than, say, your hustle player like Nimmo or, I don't know, whatever, pick a hustle player. Ray's in Waterbury, Connecticut. What's up, Ray?
Hi, Sal. Great show as usual. I agree with you. I'm not giving up on the hitting. I think the spark is coming from one of those kids in AAA. They're all well decorated the last couple of months. They all take turns being pitcher of the month and pitcher of the week. Maybe Tong's better than all three of them, but he's in AA. I think you're going to see, like you said, Montas comes up with another clunker. He's in the bullpen, and one of those kids are coming up. By the time September rolls around, you're going to see two of them up there. You know, I think that's
I don't know if you can see both. I don't know if you can see both. I would think you're going to see McLean before anybody else. And by the way, you should never be in a spot, Ray, and thank you for the call. We appreciate it as always. You should never be in a spot where you're going to rely too heavily on young, I don't care if it's position players or arms from the minor leagues. I do not think this is a case where the Mets are going to bring up Sproat and McLean and Tong. Like, I believe it's going to be one of those guys, and probably McLean, you would think, would be the guy. Maybe it's two in dire need, like if the rotation gets banged up, if Manaea can't pitch, maybe they have to go to both guys. But I think if everything stays the way that it is, you'll see one of those arms in a rotation spot and then see what they could do. Maybe provide a little bit of a jolt, but also, how deep in the games do you think these guys are going to go? McLean going to come in and start going 7-8 innings? It's not going to happen. They're not going to be the savior. What they could be is a nice complement to help get the team to another level and upgrade that rotation. Bullpen's upgraded. You're locked and loaded with that. Rotation's got some issues right now. Not major issues, but they have some issues. Clay Holmes is a 5-inning pitcher. On top of Holmes being a 5-inning pitcher, you have Senga and Manaea working their way back into the rotation and aren't giving any length. That's now 4 out of 5, if you throw Montas into the equation, and he's obviously not very good. 4 out of your 5 starters that aren't giving you, at the very least, aren't giving you length. But the bigger issue is the offense. McLean, Sproat, those guys aren't going to fix that. Mets got to fix that. Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Nimmo, those guys got to fix that. Jay is calling from Chester, New Jersey. What's up, Jay?
Hey, Sal. How you doing? How do you love New Jersey?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I could do without the earthquakes and the skunks and the bears and the snakes, but I do like the commute better.
Miss you on the overnights. Anyways.
Thank you.
You know, I got to be honest with you. And, I'm saying this from the heart as a Mets fan. Can we stop doing the blame game on Soto? Let's concentrate on the facts. The fielding and hitting and runnings in scoring position. That is what's killing the team. And I'm tired of the thing where I love Mendy. I love the guy, but, he hit the ball 110 miles an hour. But I caught the ball. Who cares about how hard they're hitting the ball? Let's get it together, guys. Hit as a team, runners in scoring position, and I think things will turn around. And I got to tell you, the fielding. What happened to the fielding? What happened to Lindor with the fielding?
It hasn't been as clean. Lindor all year, Jay, and thank you for the call. Now, okay, I agree with most of what you're saying. The one thing I don't agree with, when we asked Mendy yesterday, I'm like, what are you supposed to do? And he's like, what am I supposed to tell Lindor? He hits the ball, he hits a rocket with guys on base, but a guy makes a great play or it's hit right to the guy's glove. What am I supposed to tell him? To hit a blooper somewhere, break your bat and drop one in somewhere? So I understand what Mendy was saying by that, and I'm with you, Jay, that I normally don't care how hard somebody's hitting the ball. I want to hit. I'd rather the blooper, but you can't tell a player, hey, awful job, you scored that one up and hit it hard. Like, there's really not much you could do at that spot. Sometimes baseball's just bad luck. You hit it in a couple of atom balls. But I don't think that's the reason for the Mets' struggles. Now, if you want to get on Soto, because people make him the whipping boy because he's making $765 million, and maybe there's something about that fans don't like. The one thing for me that is obvious that you could get on Soto for is his lack of production with runners in scoring position. It's been a team issue. There's been no bigger culprit than Juan Soto, who has come up empty the majority of times with runners in scoring position all year long. Like, if there's one consistent thing about the Mets offense, because there's peaks and valleys with everybody. Top of the order, bottom of the order, Nimmo, Lindor, Alonso, Soto, peaks and valleys with all those guys. The one constant, even in his hot stretch in June, Juan Soto has been god-awful with runners in scoring position. Now, do you believe that that's going to be the rest of the way? Meaning in the postseason? If you do, then the Mets are toast. If you don't, and you believe that a switch will be flipped, if you will, come playoff time, that's where you, and I do, with Soto. That could take them to another stratosphere. So it's making sure you get there and then making sure that he goes nuts in the postseason. If he doesn't, it's a wrap. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019 is the number to call. Mike Francesa will join the show coming up in 20 minutes at 11 o'clock.
The biggest football contest in Vegas, Circa Million and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Million. Pick 5 games against the spread each week. 126 ways to win with $6 million guaranteed. Circa Survivor. 1 pick a week. No point spread. This is all me. I love this. Last the longest to win it all. $15 million guaranteed. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. $21 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
It's Chris McMonagle overnights on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
This team has a manager right now that is failing them. This team, this group, this year, Aaron Boone circa 2025. He's failing.
Listen to CMAC on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute, sponsored by Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store at metalsupermarkets.com. The NFL's deal to gain 10% equity in ESPN has overshadowed a similar deal that will give the league a piece of another broadcasting partner, CBS. The NFL has a content partnership with Skydance. This is the company that will merge with CBS's parent, Paramount Global. I'm Boomer Esiason.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. We've got a huge variety of metals in stock, and we cut to size fast. Bottom line, we get it done fast, so you get it done fast. Doesn't get easier than that. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store or buy online at metalsupermarkets.com.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy Chicken Biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all 3 if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in the combo while supplies last.
Lunch was great. Greenwich Village is a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance.
Others drive them for the range. Some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. Whatever your reason, there's never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. Escalade IQ, Vistic, Optic, and Lyric. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
If you're looking for a great price on Falcon tires, there's only one place to go, Town Fair Tire, where you always get the guaranteed lowest price on Falcon tires. But it doesn't end there, because Town Fair Tire gives you free services for the life of your Falcon tires. More free services than any other tire dealer. That's why we say nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal, and I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
The times you spend with your friends and loved ones are the best. Those selfies you take now will shape memories that will last a lifetime. Make sure you stay in the picture and stay away from fentanyl. Only 2 milligrams of fentanyl can cause an overdose. So learn about the dangers and risks of this frightening, deadly drug at stayinthepic.nj.gov. Don't risk your life and all those wonderful memories you're creating. Stay in the picture and stay away from fentanyl. Know all the risks. Visit stayinthepic.nj.gov.
This is Sal Licata. You definitely don't want your AC system to fail this summer. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's air conditioning experts. Have them check your cooling system now. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They are the real deal. Go to edisonhvac.com.
Hey Yankees fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Sunday, September 7th for a special celebration. It's C.C. Sabathia, Replica Hall of Fame Plaque Day, and the first 40,000 guests in attendance will receive a C.C. Sabathia Replica Hall of Fame plaque presented by WFAN. Tickets are going fast. Visit Yankees.com/tickets today. Welcome back Hall of Famer C.C. Sabathia on Sunday, September 7th. Buy tickets now at Yankees.com/tickets.
Before you begin your road trip, ask yourself, do you really need 5 full suitcases? With the new 2026 Kia Sportage X-Pro's class-leading cargo space, you'll have room for what you need. Find out more at your local Kia dealer today. Keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely and obey all traffic laws. Comparisons based on second row legroom and cargo space behind second row seats in the subcompact SUV class according to Kia segmentation as of June 2025.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Wendy's Yankees Turning Point of the Game contest. Wendy's, the official hamburger of the New York Yankees. Be the first caller to correctly identify yesterday's turning point of the game at 866-540-WFAN. That's 866-540-9326, and you'll receive 2 pairs of tickets to a Yankee 2025 regular season game. It's all from your flagship station for New York Yankees baseball. The Fan. Much, much needed win yesterday for Booney and the boys. Whew, exhale after that one. I wasn't so sure Bednar was going to hang on there. And obviously Booney going to the whip with Bednar. Hey, it just shows you. If the Yankees were to, Devin Williams, how you using Devin Williams? And I get it. I didn't want Devin Williams to close it out, but no matter what, what is today, Thursday? So on Monday night, no matter what, when Fried gives you 5 innings, you're going to have to use Williams at some point. Whether it's the 9th, whether it's the 7th, whether it's the 6th, 8th, doesn't matter. He's going to have to give you an inning. He did. He blew the game. Fast forward to the next day. You only get 5 innings yet again from Will Warren. You're going to need to go to the bullpen. Did you need to go right back to Williams? Okay, let's say he didn't. Let's say Boone didn't go right back to Williams and went to Bednar in that spot. Then what do you do yesterday? Bednar wouldn't have been available, and he certainly wouldn't have been available for 42 pitches or whatever it was. So anybody who gets on Boone for this stuff is just not paying attention. You can have all the bullpen arms in the world. If the guys don't get the job done, it doesn't matter when you use them. If your starters are only going 5 innings, and that's been a big theme with the Mets, but if Fried, Rodon, Warren, if they're only giving you 5 innings, do the math. That's 4 innings times 3, that's 12. 12 innings you're going to need over the course of a 3-game series. How many guys in the bullpen do you trust over those 12 innings? Most of those relievers are only going to be able to go 1 inning, maybe for 2 out of those 3 games. Do the math. You trust 3 relievers? I mean, think about it. Think about how many innings you have to get with guys who you don't necessarily trust. But thank goodness Bednar closed that one, and that might have been the death blow. I mean, I don't know if Hal or hierarchy would have made a rash decision if they lost that game, but you could certainly see it. If the Yankees lost that game in that fashion yesterday, you could certainly see Boone not being allowed on the plane back. I wouldn't think it was right, but like at that point, it's just like, hey, it's over. But at least now Yankees get a much-needed win, a little more breathing room in the American League postseason playoff picture there. And now you come home, enjoy the off day today, exhale, deep breaths, try to clean things up, get that bullpen refreshed, figure out how you want to lock and load that thing moving forward, meaning where you want to use guys and what innings, what's their plan, specifically as it pertains to Williams. How are you going to maximize him? Because you're probably going to need him to have success the rest of the way. Get Judge healthy, figure Stanton out in the outfield. And by the way, Stanton in the outfield, I don't know how anybody thinks that that's going to work. Even if it's for a game or two, it's not. Guy can't run to first base. Literally, we didn't do this yesterday, but I should have. Literally cannot run to first base. It's not lack of hustle, it's he cannot run. He jogs. In a big spot where if you beat out a double play, hey, you need to extend the inning there. Or get on base. But he jogs. He's half-speed Stanton. And you're going to put him in the outfield now? I mean, there are obviously some issues there, but take the off day, deep breath, figure out the plan here for the rest of the game, for the rest of the way, and then go out there with Old Timers Day coming up Saturday, the Astros, you hate the Astros, go send a message now. Take 2 out of 3 at least and start to get back on track here. That's got to be what happens for the Yankees. Because even with the win, if they lose this series this weekend, more problems for the Yankees. 888-808-1019. Mets have their own problems. Eddie's on Long Island to discuss them. What's up, Eddie?
How you doing, Sal?
Good, Eddie. How are you?
Sal, good. The problem with the Mets is all offensive. They go up to the plate and they take strikes. They take way too many strikes. If you get behind in the count as a hitter, your back is against the wall. You got to go up to the plate and take control of the at-bat. You got to be ready from the first pitch. You got to see the situation. Bases loaded. You give me a strike down the middle, I'm driving the ball. If I take that pitch and now I foul off the next pitch, I'm 0-2, that's when you don't get the job done. And they keep doing this time and time again. They have to take control of the at-bat, and they got to get the chemistry going. They have zero chemistry, and they're clueless at the plate.
Well, I think the chemistry is a big issue, Eddie. Good call there. We appreciate the passion. I do think chemistry is a big issue, and that's not something you can force. That's got to be organic. Maybe it has something to do with Soto year one, and maybe he wasn't 100% comfortable, but maybe others weren't 100%. I don't know. I'm not there all the time, certainly not there in that clubhouse. And all I know is that it may not be bad chemistry. It's not as good as it was a year ago. Chemistry last year for the Mets carried them even though they had lesser talent. This year, with a more talented roster, the chemistry is not where it was, and you're seeing a team that hasn't been able to click. Now, your point about the offense in particular here, they're not being aggressive. They're being indecisive. That is what Mendy said after the game yesterday, after nearly getting no hit and further embarrassed. They're thinking too much. You can't think. As an athlete, you got to get out there and do. Stop thinking. And if you're thinking about things, then you start getting twisted in your own mind. And I do think that's part of the problem. If Mendy says it, we could see it. Our guys are being indecisive. That can't happen. So now it's on Mendy and the coaching staff to somehow have his players figure it out. What is it? Paralysis by analysis? That could be happening quite a bit in the new age. Look at this video. Look at that video. Look at this arm angle. This is what this guy's throwing. Just get up there, grab the freaking bat, and go swing and hit, will you? You're a big leaguer. Act like it. You're Juan freaking Soto. That's what like. If I'm the hitting coach for a day, Mendy's like, Sal, you know what? I love you, man. Come in. You could be the guest hitting coach for a day. I go up to Soto, and this is what I do. Hey, Juan, dude. You know, give him a little chest pat. Be like, Juan, remember who you are. You know who you are. You are Juan freaking Soto. I need to remind you that. Did you forget who you are? I don't care what the pitcher's doing out there. Lefty, righty, what he's throwing, you know what to do. You're Juan Soto, the $765 million man. Go out there and start acting like it. That's what I would have told him. Same thing for the other guys, although it's a lot more difficult when they're not Juan Soto. And be like, Pete, you're the, what'd you get this year, $30 million? You're the $30 million man. You hit record home runs as a rookie, 53, 52 home runs as a rookie. Remember that. Devin Williams last year, all right, yeah, you knew it was coming, but that's okay. You still hit it. Come on, look at that power. You're the polar bear. Go get him. Come on, Big Pete. And it gets harder as you go down the line. Nimmo. Dude. Yes, you run to first base when you walk. Ooh, we love that. Remember who you are. Be patient at the plate. Pick your pitch out. Cross your fingers that you're actually going to hit it hard somewhere. Just kidding. I love Nimmo. But obviously, you get the point. Let these guys go do what they got to do. They're big leaguers for a reason. Chris is in Ronkonkoma. What's up, Chris?
Hey, how you doing, Sal? One thing that bothers me about Mendy, you don't manage scared. Manage mad. You understand, Sal?
Yes.
The other day, I'm going to tell you, no one even says, how do you walk Ramirez there in the 10th inning?
Because he's the only guy that can beat you.
No, it isn't, Sal. That's the run that could beat you.
I'm not pitching a Ramirez there. So I'm not pitching a Ramirez.
But it's scared there.
No, I don't think that's scared. I think that was smart. I understand what you're saying, Chris, but I think, no, look, we could disagree.
And that's all not to be the winning run, Sal.
I get it, but just because...
let these guys pitch deep into the game.
Just because of the result there. What if Ramirez... Well, but Chris, see, you're just... You have to think about it logically for a second. Number one, Ramirez is clearly their best player. I would have chose the same way Mendy did. I'm not letting that guy beat me because I can live with, hey, if something happens and he ends up scoring, okay, so be it. If he hits a two-run home there or rips one in the gap, I can't live with that. So, yeah, go ahead.
They're playing scared there.
No, they're not playing scared. They're not playing scared. No, Chris, here's the other thing. Chris,
that is the winning run.
Chris, Clay Holmes.
You're getting the next inning with the man on second, Sal.
Some people just, Chris.
No one said that.
Chris, it's not. You'd rather pitch to Ramirez? He's their best player.
Yes.
Okay, and what if Aaron Judge is up in that spot? Are you pitching Aaron Judge or are you walking him? Oh, Chris, we can't talk over each other. You pitching Aaron Judge in that spot? We appreciate the call and thank you for the passion. Let me get back to doing what I'm doing here. Would you pitch to Aaron Judge in that spot? No. You'd be nuts to do that. Yeah, but he's a winning run, Sal. It doesn't matter. He's Aaron Judge. You put him on. Go get the next guy. Let him beat you. Mets beat themselves with bad defense. And really, the offense not being able to do enough. Ramirez is the one guy that scares you in that lineup. I'm not pitching to him there. And as far as making the pitchers go deeper, yeah, it sounds great. Would you rather somebody pitch 6 or 7 innings but get hit hard or give you 5 great innings? Clay Holmes is a 5-inning pitcher. You're not having him go through the lineup the third time through. Now, the better argument is, well, then why did Stearns go get him and bring him in if he could only give you 5 innings? That, to me, is the better argument than Mendy trying to push a guy who he knows is not going to be effective the next inning. That's the thought process. It's not being scared. It's saying, I'm being smart here. If I run the risk of putting him back out there again, which, by the way, he's done. He's tried to push his starters, all of them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. With Holmes, you have to know, get me 5 innings, solid 5 innings, and you're out. BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll get to your calls next hour, but coming up when we come back, the man who built this station, the man who this studio is named after. There would be no fan without the Fran. Mike Francesa when we come back.
No matter the season, New York sports never stop. Yankees, Mets, Giants, Jets. If it's happening, we're talking about it. The Fan, 101.9 FM and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
This is the story of the one.
As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Wake up with Boomer and Geo. Mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good morning at 11 o'clock. I'm Chris Lopresti. This report is sponsored by Primo Brands, the official water sponsor of MLB. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. Also brought to you by Robert Half. At Robert Half, they found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why their recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI work quickly to find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today. Much needed win for the Yankees to escape a sixth straight loss and back-to-back sweeps as they edge the Rangers Wednesday 3-2 behind Paul Goldschmidt's pinch hit go-ahead solo homer in the seventh inning and a 5-out save for David Bednar, all via strikeout. They stay in wild-card positioning ahead of Texas, also clinched the season-long tiebreaker with the Rangers into an off day ahead of a weekend series with the Astros beginning tomorrow night. Mets manager Carlos Mendoza was a little more positive, upbeat, and optimistic when he joined Sal Licata here on the Fan yesterday, just a few hours before his club was nearly no-hit by Gavin Williams and the Guardians.
Here we are, man, grinding, like you say, hasn't been easy. It's not fun at all, but, we got to keep going. We got to keep finding ways to turn things around here, and we will.
4 straight losses, 8 out of 9 into an off day of their own and ahead of a weekend series with the first-place Brewers, who have won 6 straight and 9 out of 10. Fan weather, sponsored by Made In Cookware. Some of the finest dishes in restaurants around the world are made in cookware. Not surprising, since Made In is crafted by chefs for chefs and designed for restaurants and home kitchens alike. Discover all their cookware at madeincookware.com. 76 degrees, sunny skies in Central Park, and with sports flashes at the top of the hour, I'm Chris Lopresti.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Mike's on. He's ready to go on the Fan. New York Sports Radio. Mike's on. Mike's on. He'll get you the sports any way that he can. It's Mike Francesa on the Fan. Sports Radio 66. WFAN.
From the studios of he's not on yet. I mean, we're waiting for him to call. I told you, play him in and out. We played the song here. Waiting for Mike to call. He'll join us shortly here, live from the Mike Francesa studios in downtown Manhattan. Remember the train set that Mike used to have? Man, that was great. Either way, we're waiting Francesa here, who will join the show in a little bit. We'll try to get some insight into what went on with the Giants stuff, the Giants and Giants meeting up, and all New York sports. That's what I really want to do. I want to talk New York sports with the New York Sports Talk legend. And here he is, Mike Francesa, the man of the week with the million views that you got going on. How are you, Mike?
Sal, what's going on?
All right, how'd this thing come together with the Giants and Giants?
About 2 months ago, they asked me if I would do a podcast, Eli's podcast. And Eli and I have always maintained a good relationship. So they texted me and asked me if I would do his podcast. I said yes. They tried to pick a date where it both works because I'm away a lot this time of the year. I just came back from 2 weeks in Saratoga. And they then came up with this idea. Now, it was all them. Give them credit. It was Eli and his people, and they sent me the storyboards, and I loved it. I said, this is great. I'll do it. So before we did the podcast, we shot this thing, and a couple of takes, a couple of different versions, but I knew it was going to do very well. I knew it was going to be good, and obviously it turned out very well.
Mike, I was shocked to see it. And not that I didn't think it would do well, obviously, but I was like, it caught me off guard, caught me by surprise because it kind of out of nowhere, and it was great. Now, did you hear the caller? He happened to call the fan a couple of times that day. He was awful. He didn't seem to be.
No, I didn't hear him. I was out of town. I didn't know. Right afterwards, I went right back out of town, so I wasn't aware that he called. Someone told me that he was on the fan, though.
Yeah, he called me and just had no interest. He didn't know what was going on. He had no idea who I was. Then he called Marash and Loogie, and understandably, he didn't know who those guys were. And then and he just didn't seem to have any fun with it whatsoever.
I'm surprised he knew who you were.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't. But he definitely didn't know who those guys were. Anyway,
I think the call was. I heard two versions that the call was either 2013 or 2015. I'm not sure which one was accurate, but it's funny. That call surprised me because it's the call that I think got the most reaction in the history of the entire fan. And it surprised me because at the time it was an odd call. And in the beginning I was like, what is this guy serious? And then I started playing up to it and made a whole joke out of the whole thing. But I didn't think it was going to have the impact that it did, and it had incredible legs. And believe it or not, when I went in there to shoot this that day, and we shot it in the hotel where the Giants were staying because they were off that day, they're coming off losing 12 out of 14. They had just got beat by the Pirates. They flew in. They're playing the Mets the next day, and they were nice enough to do that, two of their biggest stars, and they couldn't have been nicer. And believe it or not, they knew of the call. So that thing has had incredible legs. They were well aware. They were thrilled to do it. Now, listen, it was Eli who put it together. I don't think anyone but Eli could have, or someone of his stature could have put it together where the Giants would have agreed. But the Giant players were thrilled to do it, and they were great sports about it. And it turned out really well. It really did.
You still have a good relationship with the Giants? We'll get to the baseball in a little bit. Where's your relationship with the Giants?
No, I don't. I don't, Sal. I have a good relationship with Eli. I don't have a good relationship with the Giants since the Gettleman days because I was very hard on Gettleman and very hard on a couple of their coaches. And listen, they were inept. And John got very upset with me. So, no, I don't think I think if I went there now, I would not be very welcome, to be honest with you. I haven't been in the good favor. I used to have a great relationship with the Giants. I think now I would say I have a poor relationship.
Where do you think they're at going into the season here with Russell Wilson now?
I don't trust Russell Wilson anymore, but that's not the point. I think there's two things. Number one, the Giants could be 40% better this year, and it won't show up in the record. I've heard people recently when I've been in the car or driving around say that they don't think the schedule is as hard as it was made out to be. Well, I was one of the ones who made it out to be that hard, and I disagree completely. I think the schedule is brutal. And I'm going to tell you this. Schedules make a big difference because when you need that breather, when you need that bad team coming into your building and you're going to play at Kansas City, and then you got a trip to the Eagles, or you got the Eagles twice in 3 weeks, I think the Giants could be 40% better this year and it doesn't show up in the record. Here's what I'm worried about. Their defense is going to be improved. Obviously, their pass rush looks like it could be special. Let's see if it is. Their run defense leaves a lot to be desired. Let's see how that works out. The offensive line is a huge problem. And it remains, despite what they might say, despite anything, it's still with injuries, and I'm not going to get into particular things I've heard, but injuries and ineptitude, that offensive line is still a major, major problem for the Giants, and that will hold them back incredibly.
You believe in the head coach? I've been a backer of his. It's getting harder and harder to believe in him when he keeps coming up.
He's puzzled me. Now, I don't know him, and I've never sat down and had a talk with him in my whole life. I was impressed by his first year. He took a big step backwards, and I think what happened is his early success made him less tolerant to what happened afterwards. I think he thought he was going to be a real big success, and instead it backfired, and they made terrible decisions, and the organization made terrible moves, and they wound up with what they've been left with, and they are a long way from good. Now, I think they've improved the team this year, but let me ask you something. How does he judge? How does John judge? And he makes the football decisions. How does John judge whether he wants to keep the coach or not, because they could have a bad record and still be improved. Now, here's why I think they actually bought themselves two bites at the apple. If they can win with the veteran quarterback, they stay. If they lose early, which I think is very possible, and get a bad record, then they go to the kid quarterback, and he shows anything, well, they're not going to want to change his coach and his coordinator and the whole system for him again if they found a guy they think is their future. So they get two bites at the apple this year if they play it right, even if they're bad. So I think that does give them a decent chance to come back.
Yeah, I thought if they're going to make a change with Dable and Shane, it should have been ahead of this year once they draft the quarterback.
Yeah, well, the Giants have done everything half-assed in recent years, and this made no sense again. Okay, let's be honest. But they're there now, and like I said, two bites at the apple. If they surprise because of their defense or Wilson plays well, okay, bingo. If not, and they get off terribly, and now Dart shows promise and a future, and now they get excited about him, they aren't going to, because they don't want to change him after 1 year and give him a whole new system and a whole new coaching staff and everything else, which will take him 2 years to learn. So I think they get two bites at the apple. One thing I love is I had two players that I always pick a couple of players all year that I love. One was the Penn State tight end, who I think is going to be a tremendous pro. I love him. Okay, but I understand why the Jets took the tackle. I was torn between taking the tight end and the offensive lineman. I was last year, too. And I said take the lineman last year out of Penn State, and I was wrong. They should have taken the tight end because he's a great player for the Raiders. Now, the other player is Scatterboo. I love Scatterboo, but here's already the problem. You can eat peanuts off Scatterboo's head. He's a little guy, okay? He's already getting hurt, which scares me. So they might have to really use him as a situational back, because I think he could become really an incredible fan favorite and a very productive NFL player. I love that guy.
Yeah, I'd love to see them start running the football. I know everybody made a big deal about Daniel Jones and obviously now Russell Wilson and Malik Neighbors. Build it inside out, run the football, and then build off of that.
I think they're going to throw it to Scatterboo a lot, too. I think you're going to see him catch the ball a lot.
What about the Jets? You think I know you're a big Parcells guy, and War obviously had a great relationship for years with Parcells.
Yeah, that's pretty shot, too. So, I mean, you know, we've had off ball and outs, too. But, I mean, we talk. We're just not as close as we were. He and I chatted a bunch of times in Saratoga. His box is right behind mine at Saratoga. You know that. You know where the box is. Yeah. His box is right behind mine. So we talk all the time. So our relationship is cordial. We're just not as close as we were. But he's very high on Aaron Glenn. And let me tell you this. Aaron Glenn is cut from the Parcells cloth, 100%. Now, what does that mean? That means certain things. Number one, they're going to play a field position game. Number two, you don't take the foot out of football, which means special teams matter a lot. Number three, they're going to run the ball. They are going to play close games. They are going to try and stay in games and win them close. They're going to run the ball a lot. He thinks he's got three backs, and he intends to use all three backs. I think they're going to be a run-first team, a run-second team, a pass-third team. They're going to play predominantly low-scoring games, and I think they could be better than people think. Now, let me explain something to you. They had maybe the worst coaching staff I've ever seen, okay? And it got worse when they fired the coach, because now you took manpower out of the defensive room and you gave a guy who had no idea what to do as a head coach the head coaching job. Woody made it even. Woody took a bad situation and made it 100 times worse, okay? So they were about the worst coach team I've ever seen. I know for a fact veteran players were like, this is a joke. This is a joke, what's going on here. That's how bad it was. And they didn't speak out, which I give them credit for. But some of the guys who were there last year who had been on good teams, who had been prominent players, were like, this is kindergarten. That's how bad it was. It will be completely different under Aaron Glenn.
You like Justin Fields?
Not particularly. I think he can make some big plays. I think he'll make some 50-yard runs for some touchdowns. And I think he is a well below average passer.
What about the defense? I've been saying for years, like, I want Sauce Gardner to be great.
I think the defense is okay. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's as good as it was. I think the defense a couple of years ago was tremendous. It took a huge step back last year. I think it's going to be middle of the road. I don't think it'll be great. I think it'll be, in the 10 to 15 range.
You think Sauce Gardner is as good as everybody thinks, and he thinks?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you with that. I know all the accolades. I mean,
I do not.
I've seen great corners in my life. He's not one.
I think he counts. I think he's too worried about his status in the league and too worried about his press clippings. I think he needs to play harder, and I think he needs to play the position as an all-pro corner does, which means you play the run and the pass.
All right, looking forward to football season. Although around here, as you know better than anybody.
Oh my! I'm looking forward to football season a lot. I can't wait. I really look forward to football season, and I think the Giants are going to be improved. But I think the record's going to not show it. I think the Jets will be improved. I think the Jets will play very much vanilla football, though. I think the games will be very, 2017, 17-14 kind of games.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but it's more always about the NFL around the league as opposed to here because these two teams usually stink by October. They're dead. I mean, hopefully this year we get them to November.
Yeah, I really had high hopes for Aaron Rodgers, and it didn't work out. I would have liked to see that. I really would.
You think he's going to be good in Pittsburgh?
I don't know. I don't like that. I really think that is a very strange marriage. I think Rodgers has more left than people think. Let's be honest. He had more drops than anybody in the league. He was on a team that had no coaching, had no offensive line coaching. And if they didn't have the drops they had in the end zone, he would have had 35 touchdown passes. What's that bad? Let me tell you the next time you'll see a Jet quarterback throw 35 touchdown passes, okay? He is still Aaron Rodgers. Now, I understand they thought that he was only throwing to the guys he wanted to throw to. He froze out guys. Nonsense. He just wanted to get the ball in the end zone. I don't buy that for a second. He went where he thought the ball could be caught. That's the bottom line. Now, did he do everything perfect? No. He also played hurt early in the season, but I think he's still got a bunch left. I really do.
All right, we started the show talking about baseball. Obviously, we're talking with Mike Francesa, a man who needs no introduction. You know his voice, long time, obviously, here on The Fan. He built this freaking place live from the Mike Francesa studios.
That's a long time ago, Sal.
Oh, not really that long.
Nobody cares about 1980. I know that. See, I'm a smart 70-year-old. I understand no one cares about 1987. I understand that. Hey, I'm very proud of what we did. I'm very proud of what the Fan did, what Dog and myself did, what the station has done, and I wish the station nothing but the best. But it's always about the present. Just like baseball, it's always about the present. It's nice to honor the past, but it's your time. It's not my time anymore. It's your time.
Well, my time might be up. Cart might be coming back.
Not you personally.
Yeah,
I meant you, the station. I didn't mean you, Sal. You'll be running in and saying, Mike said I should run the station. I mean, Mike said I'm the guy. I mean, that's you'll be running off crazy. No, I mean you as the whole station. I think it's your time, not mine.
Yeah, well, Cart might be coming back. Are you coming back at all? Do we need to worry about that?
No, I'm not coming back. I don't know who's coming back, but I can tell you this, I'm not coming back, I promise.
All right, how about the Mets? I'm not as worried as everybody else. Where are you at with the Mets right now?
A little surprised by the recent slump. The Mets fool me a lot. I mean, when I think they're going bad, they'll play well. And when I think they're about to run something off, they play lousy. Listen, they made some good moves at the trade deadline. Their bullpen is really good now. You don't know it yet because the team hasn't kicked in. Now, one thing that's a big problem is you can't have just one pitcher who can get into the sixth inning. They don't have another pitcher on that team, which is mind-boggling, who has made it through the sixth inning this year. Only Peterson has gone 6 innings this year on that team. And Peterson, for the most part, except the 3 right before the All-Star break, has pitched really well. But their bullpen is improved. The problem is they haven't hit consistently or as a group all year. One guy gets hot, the other guys go cold. They haven't kicked in. Here's what I would do with the Mets. Okay, and I'm disappointed in Soto's play. He hasn't been nearly as good. I'm only judging from the plate. I don't care about his right field. I don't care about his stolen bases. At the plate, he has not been the same player. He has not made contact as well, and he has been terrible in big spots. Now, he leads league in walks. He's got 26 homers. The year is salvageable, okay? And for other people, it's a good year, but he's not other people. He's one of the premier offensive players in baseball. He needs to get a hot streak and carry the team in the big innings, and they all need to hit at the same time. They need to get Lindor. I'm not worried about Alonso. They need to get Lindor, Nimmo, and Soto, and Vientos. He is maybe the key to the team down the stretch. Here's what I would do if I were the manager. I would play McNeil every day at second base, and I would DH Vientos. I would not fool around with him. Let him play every day. Let him sink or swim. And this is what you tell him. You tell him what Joe Torre always told the player who was having a bad year. Hey, you can't catch your regular stats now. You can't catch last year's stats now. Turn this year around right now. Finish red hot. Carry into the postseason, and you can still have a big, meaningful year. Forget what has happened already. Start now. And that's what Vientos has to do. I think what happens with a young player is he all of a sudden, I can't do this. I can't get here. I can't do this. Okay? Yeah, that year's gone. You can't do that. Finish strong. And they really need him in a big way. But they need Minaya and Senga to pitch like they're supposed to pitch down the stretch. Their bullpen's going to be terrific. I think they'll make the playoffs. I don't know if they'll beat the Phillies. Phillies are good. I think a big key is Wheeler hurt. I know they backed him up a couple of days. If he's hurt, that's a big, big hit to the Phillies.
Yeah, it's so different with the Mets because they have the players for years. It's go get the players, go get the players. They have the players. Now they just got to do their job. Whereas with the Yankees, maybe a little bit of a different story.
Hey, they have the best back of the bullpen in baseball now.
Yeah, Helsley and Diaz. I mean, that's as good as it gets right there. So you just can't wait to see you get unleashed.
I mean, hey, give them leads and they'll close the door. I mean, that will happen. But the Mets have not hit as a group all year, and Soto has been terrible late in games. Absolutely terrible. And I don't care. I mean, I can't believe anybody made a big deal about his home run yesterday. Who the hell cares?
Oh, but it's an embarrassment. But the end of the no-hitter.
Who the hell cares? I don't care if they get no-hit or not. That's not anyone who calls that a big home run is an idiot, okay? I mean, the bottom line is, how is that a big home run?
Yeah, well,
do you think that's going to motivate the team that they scored a run?
Maybe
that they didn't get no hit.
Maybe
Who
he gets
cares if a team? No one cares if a team gets no hit. They got no hit when they went to the World Series. No one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares if you get no hit. Doesn't make any difference. You go to the next day. They ran into a hot pitcher yesterday. Had great stuff.
I wouldn't say it was a big hit. I didn't, but I did not want the Mets to get no hit. That would have been embarrassing.
Why? Who cares?
Well, can I be honest with you?
Move on to the next game. Move on to the next game.
I didn't want to be looked at as a jinx. We had Mendy on the show yesterday. If they got no hit the day that he came on with me, I'd probably never get him on again.
Well, that's fair. I mean, I don't know why he talks to you anyway, to be honest with you. But, I mean,
what about the Yankees?
You want Soto to get a hit when they're down 3-2 and the bases are loaded. That's when you want a base hit. Yesterday's hit you can have. You know what? If anyone gets excited by that, good. I was surprised the fans were booing as early in the game as they were. They were booing very early in the game yesterday because I watched a lot of the game yesterday, and they were booing early in the game. They really were.
They were ready to go, obviously not having it with the Mets in their losing streak. What about the Yanks here?
Yeah.
The calls have been about firing Boone, this or that. For me, it's more of a culture issue.
Listen, I think Boone's done a bad job, and their fundamentals and their situational baseball is atrocious. They won't fire Boone. I'm just telling you right now, everybody I talk to who knows, and I still talk to people who know in that organization, and they're not going to fire him. It's just not going to happen. So if that's what you're holding out for, I don't care what happens. Boone's finishing. Now, if they don't make the playoffs, would I give you the 100% Boone's back next year, despite the contract? No, I don't think he will be. But he's going to get this year, 100%. I'd be stunned. And everyone I talk to says that who's there, says he will not get fired. Now, the roster, they made some good moves, but they made too many moves. You can't rebuild the entire team at the trade deadline, okay? That just showed you how perplexed they are. The roster still is ridiculously awful in terms of balance. They have 4 DHs. If you count Judge as a DH now, and I don't know how much he can play in the outfield, and if he gets a twinge, he's going to DH. Now, and he's not going to learn first base this year, sorry. Now, with that the case, they have 4 DHs. They have him, Stanton, Rice, and Dominguez, who is still a DH, okay? Because you know anytime he goes out there, the ball can hit him right between the eyes. We all know that, okay? So They have 4 DHs. They have 1 catcher. If you play Rice at first base, which you want to do against a tough righty or against all righties the way Goldschmidt hits against righties, you want to play Goldschmidt late in the game for defensive purposes, and you want to play him all the time against lefties. So if a lefty comes in the 7th inning, you put him in for Rice. But if you play Rice at first, you don't have a backup catcher. How can you not have a backup catcher on your team? You got him at first base. You can't put him at first base a lot now because they don't have another catcher on the roster except Rice. That makes no sense. Why do they need 2 extra guys? They don't need 2 utility guys. They need 1. One of them's got to go. If you want to keep the base stealer, keep him. Rosario's not a bad baseball player, but there's no way they're both going to play on this team. Now, there's no room in the outfield if Judge is hurt, and there's no if Judge isn't hurt, and if Judge is hurt, there's no room for Stanton to play anywhere. You can't put Stanton in the outfield. He's a statue. He can't play in the outfield. He can still hit, though. He's had 10 homers and 27 RBIs in his last 100 at-bats. The guy has to be the DH. Rice has to be the left-handed platoon at first. They got to get an extra catcher, get rid of one of the utility guys, and play the right guys in the outfield. Don't play Bellinger anywhere but in the outfield because it's a negative when he doesn't play in the outfield. You can play him anywhere in the outfield, but he's got to play the outfield. Grisham has to play 80% of the time minimum. I don't care how much Dominguez plays. Grisham has to play. Bellinger has to play every day. Rice has to. Judge has to be in there every day, and Rice has to be in there against right-handed pitching. Goldsmith comes in late in the game for defense. They have to carry another catcher. Now they have a ton in the bullpen, and they finally moved to the right closer. Forget Williams. Williams doesn't want to be here. I'm telling you, he won't be here next year. He shouldn't be here. I don't think he likes it here. He looks like a guy who is a deer in a headlight every time he goes to the mound. He's given up on the mound. As soon as that ball was missed, you could see him sulking. His shoulders dropped. You could see how he was on the mound. He didn't fight through it at all. They got the right closer now. They have tons of depth in the bullpen right now. Yes, it will be nice if Heel can still pitch. It will be criminal if they don't make the playoffs. But this roster is so bad in terms of baseball balance. It still needs to be balanced at this late date. That's how bad it is.
So don't you think that that's on Brian Cashman and it dates back years?
Yes.
It's not a one-year thing.
Yes. But Cashman's not going anywhere. He's part of the family.
Well, then how things going to change? I mean, they can keep saying the results.
They went to the World Series last year.
I know, but they got embarrassed in the World Series.
They went to the World Series last year. They couldn't, despite losing and being embarrassed by the Dodgers, they couldn't make any more money if they tried. Okay? If they make the playoffs and they go around deep into the playoffs, ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. The Yankees make all they care about is how much money they make. If they make the playoffs and they don't win the World Series, they're ready to go the next year. And the owner will say, we didn't have Cole, Judge got hurt. He's already got his excuses made for this year. So they're already typed up. They're on a piece of paper. Cole got hurt. Keel got hurt, Judge got hurt, and that's it. We didn't win. Sorry, we'll be back next year. Okay, make sure you buy your tickets. Okay, make sure you put your signs in the outfield. That's all he cares about. Okay, we all know that. That's the bottom line, and they make money hand over fist. The roster is a malfunctioning mess. You can't have 4 DHs and no extra catcher on your roster, and that's ridiculous. I love McMahon, play him every day. I don't care. He gets clutch hits. He's not going to hit 300. He's going to battle against some lefties. He'll hit some home runs. He is a great glove. He's stabilized the entire infield. And you've noticed how much better Volpe is since McMahon's been here, don't you? That's because of McMahon's presence and his experience. It's made it a ton better. Volpe can play up the middle. McMahon covers a ton of ground. He's a great third baseman. It's made things a ton better on the infield.
You ever just call dog and you guys talk New York sports?
Yeah, not much. We text.
Okay.
We text once, but I got to be honest. We don't text all the time. He's busy. I'm busy. You know, I got 3 kids in college. You know, I travel around sometimes. I mean, I still do my podcasts, and I like doing them after games, especially. I do them. They're very well received. I've done a couple of the things lately that have gotten. You know, the Superman review was crazy. The Giant thing was crazy. I mean, the responses have been, insane. People are calling me up, offering me jobs I don't want. I mean, so, but, you know, hey, I have fun with it. I still enjoy doing it. I like being able to verbalize. Do I want to go to Hudson Street every day? No, thank you. I mean, I don't want to spend 4 hours in the car. I left my house the other day to go to the city to do the Eli thing. It took me 2 hours to get there by car. I'm like, thank God I don't do this every day. I mean, the city is a disaster to drive in. So I like not having to be there that much. I have a studio in the house. So, and once in a while I hear you knuckleheads on the radio when I'm in the car. And I hear you fighting with people and this and that, and they get your goat so easy, Sal. Callers can get your goat so easy.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
I know.
You haven't changed. You haven't learned one lesson I taught you all these years. You know that?
I tried.
You're still the same when I used to sit you down and say, Sal, maybe you should take a breath and think once before you talk once. Okay, but you haven't changed once in all these years. It's your blessing and your curse at the same time. But now I see you up for an Emmy in New York. Here's one thing, so I hate to burst your bubble. Everybody but the mailman has won a local Emmy.
I know.
Okay. Win a national Emmy. Okay. The local Emmy. I had the show for 2 years. I won 2 local Emmys. Everybody but the mailman wins. It's like what do they call it with the kids? A participation award. The local Emmy. Okay. There's 4 million categories. They just keep giving them out like pens.
I know, but I keep losing. I keep losing to Bill Pito. It's bothering me.
Bill Pito keeps beating you, huh?
2 in a row, Mike.
Well,
2 in a row,
hey,
Bill
maybe,
Pito.
Did you get nominated this year?
I did. He's going to get me again. It's against Pito again.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Just you and Pito?
Yeah. Well, no, Pito, Gary Apple, Steve Gelbs, I think are the others.
Oh, really? Not exactly Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. Okay.
One more, Mike, because I want to get your thoughts on this. I've seen you do this on your podcast.
What's that?
Because there were some people, afternoon drive now, and that's always the spot I wanted. I was heartbroken not to be able to get the opportunity to go on afternoon drive.
What do you mean? Have you given up your quest?
No, absolutely. No, pedal to the metal. I'm still full bore. I mean, I'm happy to have a job, but I want the afternoon.
You put things that Evan can trip over, out in the hall, things like that,
You always said you don't want to be the guy to replace the guy, but maybe you could be a little bit after that. So I'm just waiting a little bit. But,
oh, no, Sal, you don't have to wait anymore. I tell you don't have to wait anymore. They've had enough guys. You don't have to wait anymore.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
You're not replacing Bear Bryant anymore. That's over with. Okay?
One of the guys on the afternoon show, Sean Morash, you may be familiar with, he was really upset with the Yankees for not having Clark Schmidt try to finish a no-hitter. Did you have?
Oh, please, Tony. Well, Sal, you're just teeing me up. I went off on that. Okay. The guy had a bad arm before the game. He's already now gone for the next year and a half. I mean, hey, okay, I don't even have to comment on that one, do I really? Okay.
No, but it would be fun if you did.
I mean, why people worry about things like no-hitters in the greater scheme of things, okay? I won't tell you who told me that when they let Santana pitch that no-hitter, which wasn't even a no-hitter, because we all know that there was a base hit in the game that was called wrong by the umpire, okay, which would have ended the whole thing for me if I were on the mound, because I know that was a fair ball. But biggest mistake they ever made, they said.
Well, it had to be TC. And by the way, Terry, I know we're going to be playing golf, and I can't wait to get out there and play golf.
I love Terry. Terry, here's the thing. Let me
he wants to play. Story. He wants to. I said, Francesa invited us out there.
I will play with Terry anytime. Let me tell you this. When he came to the Mets, all I heard was what a disaster he was to get along with, how hard he was going to be to interview, how the players hated him in his past managerial jobs, and he was a rigid SOB. He might have been one of the best. I would say if I'm listing the best guys I ever dealt with in all the years I was in New York, Terry Collins would absolutely be in the top 5, and he might be in the top 3. He is one of my all-time favorites, and he is a great guy. Not a good guy, a great guy.
Yeah, you weren't kidding. He says the same about you. I've had him plenty of times.
I love Terry Collins, and he can play golf. I hear he's pretty good. He'll probably try to take my money, but I hear he's pretty good, though.
Oh, I haven't played with him, but I've heard about it. I just know this. He's a fun guy.
You guys say you're good, and you can't even get. I mean, you're hitting the ball 2 fairways over.
I know. I said you're good. I know I stink.
I'm not good. I'm a mediocre player, but you guys are dreadful.
BT,
Jerry's not bad.
Oh, BT thinks he's good. Jerry's good. BT thinks he's good.
I've never seen him play. Bring him along when we play. You said you wanted to play, so I'll shoot you a date. We'll play and bring BT along. We'll see how good his game is.
Thank you, Mike. You're the best. We appreciate it.
Bye, Sal.
And there you have it. The legend, Mike Francesa. That was fun, wasn't it? Just sit back listening to that. You're welcome. You're welcome. I mean, how great was that? Mike is he still got it. He doesn't want to come back, though. He's doing that podcast. Whew, thankfully. There's only so many chairs around here. All right, the BT and Sal Show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets. We'll take a break. Come back with your calls, 888-808-1019.
Mets or Yankees, Jets or Giants, doesn't matter. WFAN breaks it all down with passion, knowledge, and non-stop New York energy. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Clemson's Dabo Swinney isn't letting recent struggles shake him. He's chasing history, gunning for the first ever 16-0 season now that the college football playoff has expanded. Critics say he's stuck in his ways, slow to use the transfer portal, but Swinney's betting his team is still elite and ready to shock the college football world this year. I'm Maggie Gray.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy Chicken Biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all three if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in the combo while supplies last.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Juice box. I'm a mom.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check. Oh, hot sauce. Take it.
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins, a balloon. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 per month on Experience Beyond. Finance agreement $829.99 and qualifying boarding. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay out via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Hi, we're Wren Kitchens. In our 50-year history, we've made and installed millions of quality kitchens. And now you can find us at the Home Depot across the tri-state area. With thousands of styles and colors to choose from, we offer a free home measurement service and expert design consultation. All of our kitchens are made in the U.S. and delivered directly to you and installed by our specialist fitters. We cut out the middleman to save you money. And with our flexible financing, you can spread the cost over 7 years. Come down to Wren Kitchens at the Home Depot now. Finance subject to credit approval. Offers may change. See website for more details.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-4094. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-4094. That's 800-575-4094. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Summer is here, and it's time to plan your style staycation with Bob's Discount Furniture, where you can find everyday low prices on the hottest styles. The comfiest Consumer Reports recommended mattresses, fast, friendly delivery, and flexible financing to fit your budget. Go to mybobs.com for details. So stock up and score everyday low prices, delivered on time all summer long at your nearest store or at mybobs.com.
Oh, my Bob.
Bob's Discount Furniture. Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 13th. An accredited state university, University of Maryland Global Campus offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits towards a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chevy.
Before you begin your road trip, ask yourself, do you really need 5 full suitcases? With the new 2026 Kia Sportage X Pro's class-leading cargo space, you'll have room for what you need. Find out more at your local Kia dealer today. Keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely and obey all traffic laws. Comparisons based on second row legroom and cargo space behind second row seats in the subcompact SUV class according to Kia segmentation as of June 2025.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT Sal back on the Fan. BT enjoying vacation. He'll be back next week, so we'll have some fun together there. Obviously, can't wait to get out on the golf course with Mike. I hate playing golf. I told you that. Like, it gives me anxiety. I said this the other day. I hear Boomer and Gio talking about it all the time. Ruco and Cone mentioned it the other day. And even hearing other people talk about it, it gives me anxiety. But I did the same thing this year as I did last year. Set up back-to-back dates. We're supposed to play with our buddy Steve Hirsch. I forget what, Quaker Ridge or something like that. We're supposed to play with Recco, me, and Gio. And now it's going to be me, Mike, Recco, and BT the following day. So back-to-back days. I did the same thing last year, same exact, maybe not the same exact foursomes, but the same places, playing with Steve up at Quaker Ridge and then playing with Mike out on Long Island in consecutive days. I guess I just get my golfing in 2 days, and then that's it for the year. But, I'm not any good. I don't practice. I don't have time to do it. And it gives me anxiety. And imagine that anxiety that you would have normally. And then playing with, there's different levels of anxiety. The one I was going to talk about is playing with Mike. Like, it's Mike, and I don't want to upset him or embarrass myself. And he's good. He hits the ball straight every time. Like, I don't care how far you hit it. I just want to be able to keep it moving. Hit it straight. Don't hit it sideways. And I can't do that. I'm sculling them. I'm chopping them. I'm dribbling them. Like, it's all over the place. Ripping them into the woods. Got a hold of that one. But, you don't want to embarrass yourself. And then playing with Gio, which I've never played golf with Gio before. We've done some other stuff together. Never played golf before with Gio. Now that he's master golfer, and I know what's going to happen. Whatever happens out on that golf course does not stay on the golf course. It goes right to the morning show, and they're going to be talking about it. So it gives me a different level of anxiety. To a point where I've thought about it, okay, maybe I'll go just hang out. I'll bring the surf sides, and then maybe watch them play for the 18. Maybe hit a couple. Anyway, back to the phone calls, 888-808-1019. Hope you enjoyed that with Francesa. In case you missed anything, check it out on the free Odyssey app. John is calling from Syracuse about the Mets. What's up, Johnny?
Hey, Sal, just a side note. You more than deserve afternoon drive.
Well, thank you. It's occupied right now. I'm not trying to take anybody's job, but I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't want afternoons. When it was open, I wanted afternoons. But I'm happy with midday, somewhat.
Who wouldn't? You do a good job. This is water under the bridge. And the Mets are talented enough to win this division, but they don't have the spark plug that they had with Jose Iglesias last year. And I think they made a big mistake not bringing him back.
You're not the only person to say that, obviously, John. As a matter of fact, you may have even called at one point and said the same thing. Like a lot of people, including my mother. Oh, she said it to Mendy out of the Amazing Day. Oh, you're going to bring Iglesias back? Everybody loved Iglesias. I can't get caught up in that. I do not believe that that's the problem. If anything, I know this has been making the rounds on social media. J.D. Martinez and his impact on the offense last year and his hitting philosophies, that could be a game changer. That's no longer there. The chemistry is definitely not what it was a year ago, but I don't think that if the Mets brought back Jose Iglesias, it would be that much different. And there was no room for him. Where are you going to put him?
He got so many big hits for the Mets, big clutch hits. He was great with the glove.
Yeah, but he was awful down the stretch and in the postseason. Look, I'm with you, John, and thank you for the call. As a matter of fact, I even said it last offseason, they got to bring him back. But when you actually look at the roster, like, whose spot's he taking right now? I want Acuna to take somebody's spot, and he can't even crack the roster. Beatty they want right now because of lefty bat. If Winker ever does come back from the IL, I would assume Beatty would be the first to go. There's just no room for Iglesias. Even if he were here, he's not going to solve the offensive issues. And his offensive success, while I respect putting the bat on the ball and putting it in play, that was more the aberration than what you could expect to continue. And you saw it in the playoffs. Maybe, though, with the Mets, this year will be different from last year, whereas where they had that success in the regular season, I know they had success in the postseason, but Iglesias, for example, the things that they were successful at in the regular season didn't fully transfer over to the postseason. Maybe this year will be the opposite, including the starting pitching, who Minaya and Senga should be fresh. I mean, Senga wasn't even here obviously he pitched in the postseason, but he didn't pitch any of the regular season. You were just throwing him out there in the playoffs last year, so you didn't have any kind of real version of Senga. Minaya was exhausted. You could see that. Now he's going to be fresh, assuming he's going to build himself back up. He's in the process of doing that by the, mid-end of August. He should be just getting ready to go. He should be in mid-season peak form by October. And then, of course, Soto. We saw Lindor. We saw Alonso perform and produce in the postseason. Soto. Him in the playoffs can take this offense, and I expect will take this offense to another stratosphere. Not to mention Vientos. You heard Mike talking about Vientos. I've kind of given up hope on Vientos, but the potential is still there. And you might need him to win the division to go get hot here at some point, but it's not like you can't get hot in the playoffs, what you did a year ago. What happens if that wakes him up? That's why I'm not going crazy in a negative way with the Mets, because the potential is still there. They have the players. They just need those guys to go nuts. And even if it just happens in October, that will be good enough. Chris is in Bayshore. What's up, Chris?
Yeah, hey, Sal. How are you?
Good. What's up, Chris?
Listen, I got a couple of things. First of all, I agree with you 100%. I think the issue with the Yankees is total accountability. I think that you as a young parent, you don't see it. You kind of see it a little bit, but it's stretching into everywhere. And you got to hold guys accountable. Otherwise, you're going to get the repeated behaviors over and over again. And I don't think that's what Booney's doing. I think he's exactly what they want. Those kind of managers are kind of a thing of the past anyway. And I also have a thing with Pito. I think the reason, and again, you're super talented, whatever.
But, yeah.
I think the reason Pito beats you like a drum is because he's a real Ranger fan, and you're not.
I love it, Chris, and thank you for the call. Are we sure on that? Freaking Bill Pito, who's, by the way, a nice guy. Obviously, I'm just having some fun with him. But he did beat me 2 years in a row, and we're going head-to-head year 3. A 3-peat for Pito? My nephew, my hockey-loving Ranger fan nephew, Joey, 2 years ago, before Pito and I became rivals, in my mind, for the Emmy, the local Emmy, as Mike said. I don't even know what's different. Local, national, who gives? Yeah. Green jacket, yellow jacket, who gives a you-know-what? My nephew comes up to me, and he starts talking about the MSG 150. And at that point, I knew I was beat. That was even before I lost the first one. But come on, Baseball Night in New York is a fun show year-round. We have some fun with that. It's entertaining, informative, educational, and fun. Gotta win one, no? And then you pay the $250, whatever it is, to get the Emmy. And no, I'm not just happy to be nominated. I want to win. And come on, I am a real Ranger fan. Do we know Pito's credentials as a Ranger fan? We know what he does on the air. That's fair enough. How do you know? Because I'll tell you something. I know something you may not. A lot of these broadcasters in a lot of different spots, and I'm not going to name names because I don't want to deal with any bull crap off the air from people. But you may think somebody's a certain fan of a certain team. They may not be. Oh, this guy definitely grew up a fan of this team. Maybe not. So I don't know about Pito and his fandom. I know he does a great job with MSG and the MSG 150. But know this. I am a Rangers fan. regardless of how many jerseys the owners at the Islanders give me. Rashad is calling from the Bronx. What's up, Rashad?
Hey, what's up? What's up? Good morning, Sal.
Good morning.
All right. So I want to talk about Soto real quickly. Soto, he's not been very impactful for the team. Even his June when he was National League Player of the Month, it didn't even translate to wins because that was probably the Mets' worst month of the season.
Correct.
Yeah. So and then if you look at Soto's home runs versus RBIs, they're very low. He only has 64 RBIs. When I last checked, he's not batting guys, and he's not impacting the games the way that he needs to impact the games. Like Alonso last year put up some okay numbers, especially in accordance with his standards. He was not impacting the games the way that he is this year, where he's had the highest impact of any of the Mets on these games. Juan Soto may have some okay numbers, especially according to his standards. He's not having quite the impact that we expected him to have. Yeah, he's not impactful. It's not leading to wins. He's getting better at hitting and running the scoring position. Because now it's up to like 250, but for the longest it's been sub 200. It's been like 177.
I didn't even know it was that high because you haven't even felt it. For me, I haven't even felt that it's gotten that much better with Soto. So maybe it has, because a caller brought that up yesterday too, the same thing, and I thought he was wrong, or I thought it was even worse with Soto with runners in scoring position, to your point, under 200. But bottom line is you got to get better. Simple as that. I don't care that he leads the league in walks. I mean, that's fine. You know, the 250 average is not something to go nuts about. Obviously, it's a little light from where it should be. But Soto's OPS has got to be much higher. The run production's got to be. I get it. Now, the difference maybe between you and me, and I don't know, Rashad, I'll ask you. I think he's going to go nuts at some point. If he doesn't, the Mets have no chance, and it's going to be a lost season. But I do believe that when the calendar turns, whether it's to September or October, I still believe Soto is that guy that will carry the Mets. It might not happen, but I believe that. Do you believe that?
I believe he would. I believe he would. I was expecting him to have more, because I'm comparing to Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge, if he had a month like Soto had in June, he had way better months. Aaron Judge, those are wins. I don't know why Soto was not getting wins.
Right, but here's the other comp to Judge, and thank you for the call, Rashad. And I don't know. And that's why I say that maybe there's some kind of chemistry issue or something's off there. Didn't make any sense to me that the Mets were playing their best baseball with Soto not doing much, and then all of a sudden Soto goes nuts and plays out of this world for the month of June, and yet as a team, collectively, they were at their worst. So something's off. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. But what Judge does so great in the regular season has not yet transferred over to October. Whereas Soto, in his career, last year with the Yankees, 2019 famously with the Nationals, he has been a beast in the postseason. He'll elevate his game in the postseason. Will it happen again? I don't know. It better. Otherwise, the Mets are going home early if they do make it. John is calling from Mount Vernon. What's up, John?
How you doing, Sal?
How are you, Johnny?
I'm okay, buddy. For an old man, 87 years old, Yankee fan all my life. I don't understand the Yankees. Where they going to get rid of Boone? And also, I don't understand why everybody's on Volpe's case when he's probably got the third most RBIs on the Yankees, the third most home runs. The guy's playing tremendous shortstop right now. Yeah, he hustles 150%.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I'm a little guy, you know. I root for Italian players. Joe DiMaggio was my idol.
Yeah, well, okay, but you're rooting for Italian players. Like, I'm Italian. I couldn't give a crap less about that. So that's why you have a soft spot for that. Yeah, but that's fine. John, that's okay, Sicilian. That's fine. I love the Sicilian pizza. That's fine. But I'm not worried about where a player comes from. I'm worried about how they're producing. And you're right. Hold on, John. Hold on. No, I got you. I got you. I'm just, and I get it. I got you, brother. You have a soft spot for Volpe. And I'm not disagreeing that, yes, offensively, if you look at certain numbers, his power numbers, home runs, RBIs, you take that.
Right.
Certainly the defense lately, he's looked much better. But we're talking about... Yeah, but we're talking about 4 or 5 games. What happened when he couldn't throw the ball cleanly? And even then, the other day, he got saved by Goldschmidt.
I know. He made a lot of stupid mistakes I didn't like. I'll be honest with you. I agree with that. The bottom line is, what do you do playing Wells? What's he play? He can't hit a lick. What is he going to do? He can't get the ball out of the infield well.
Yeah.
Who should have pitched it? Who should have made a pitch hit for him yesterday?
John, Wells does have 15 home runs for a catcher. Maybe if his name ended in a vowel, you'd be higher on Wells. I mean, I'm not so sure, and thank you for the call. Look, I get it. You're allowed to have soft spots for certain players, and I do think Volpe, after he hit that big home run to tie the game, was it tying the game against Tampa late or giving them the lead? Whatever it was, that big home run, was it last week already? I don't know. It's all blending together. He hit that big home run. You could almost see like that got him mentally right. Then the next day he hits another home run. He does the LeBron pushing down. And defensively, he just looks like he's much more confident. I still don't trust him 100%. And overall, if you look at Anthony Volpe's season, it's still terribly disappointing. So you could come up with the home run numbers. You could come up with the RBI. He's got 61 ribbies, which he's going to eclipse his career high here. He has not been, this to me has still been his worst season. So look at the home run total. Look at the RBI total. That's not what you want from Anthony Volpe. I look at the total package. He hasn't been great defensively consistently enough. He has not gotten on base and hit with a high average nearly enough in accordance with what you want him to be. Those are, like, what is Volpe as a player? I still don't know. He's not supposed to be a power guy, an all-or-nothing guy. He was supposed to be different. I had higher hopes than Volpe for almost anybody outside of Brian Cashman himself. Whatever that group was that's underneath Cashman, like if Cashman believed that Volpe was going to be a superstar, that next level, whoever else was in that group, I was in that group along with him, thinking Volpe was going to be a star in this league. Even after year one, just seeing him, the eye test, man, this guy looks like he's got it. Can hit the ball hard the other way. He's athletic. He's fast. And it just has not come together. And as a matter of fact, in year three, it's gotten worse. So that's why I think you're hearing people pick on Anthony Volpe. But to his credit, and I would have sent him down, he's starting to at least look like he's coming out of it. The fear that you have is he's just one bad throw away, or one throw in the dirt that Goldschmidt or Rice can't scoop away from having it maybe snowball the other way. Offensively, still not where you want him to be, but at least the confidence seems to be back from Anthony Volpe. Surfside iced tea and vodka, that's back. I never really left. It's made with real premium stateside vodka, real brew tea. As a matter of fact, they dropped some off for us yesterday. Who was it, Hoff, that dropped it off? Brandon? Brandon at Surfside dropped it off because Clem sent some. And you know why? Clem, I think, because we had this bet with Clem from Surfside about the Mets and Phillies. If the Mets win the division, we're getting a pallet over here, which we got last year when the Knicks took out Clem's Sixers. He's a big Philly guy. But if the Phillies win the division, then I got to dress up as a Philly. And I think BT's got to dress up as a Surfside can, although he doesn't know that yet, but that's what Clem said. Anyway, they sent some over probably because they feel bad that maybe the Phillies and Clem think that they're going to win that division. But either way, we're all happy about it. Everybody's taking some Surfside and going to enjoy it this summer. It's all delicious. All the flavors are great. Only 100 calories, just 2 grams of sugar, and there's no carbonation. If you've tried the product, you know you can barely tell there's any alcohol in it. It's so good. It's dangerous. I'm not saying this just because we're supposed to say it for the commercial read. I'm saying it because I love it. It's legitimately delicious, and anybody who I've ever put onto Surfside or has tried it says the same exact thing. It's great for golfing, tailgating, the beach, the pool. That's where I love it. Sports bar, nightclub, or even at a game. You can get it at Yankee Stadium and at Citi Field. Look for the can with the sunset stripe, sunshine in a can, Surfside iced tea and vodka.
It's Boomer and Gio, mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
Yeah, it really comes down to Aaron Judge coming back and being the dominant force that he is. So that's what Brian Cashman is banking on.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Fun in the Sun event is on at Nielsen Dodge. Your new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram is here with 0 down payment, 0% financing available, and the credit help you deserve. Now that's fun.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Altitude X 4x4, just $359 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4, just $399 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
You can get up to $1,500 over book value for any trade.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
So, for super hot deals and fun savings, remember,
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Make this the summer event.
With approval term Jeep 24 Ram 42 months due at sign, Jeep 4654 Ram 4989 and tax tag 498 dock and DMV fees.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha!
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
The John Deere Gator XUV lets you cut, pack, drive, scout, weld, stack, feed, pull, load, tow, spray, and haul, all in a single day. Because with the highest cargo box volume in its class, customizable features, and a towing capacity of up to 4,000 pounds, it gets the job done. You just have to get in the seat. Learn more at your John Deere dealer or visit johndeere.com/GatorXUV.
Hey, healthcare workers of New York, are you looking to make a difference? Saints Joachim and Ann Nursing and Rehabilitation Center is actively hiring nurses and CNAs. Call 718-714-4800. That's 718-714-4800.
4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance. Others drive them for the range. And some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. Whatever your reason, there's never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. Escalade IQ, Vistic, Optic, and Lyric. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today.
When it comes to getting the guaranteed lowest price on Falcon tires, there's only one place to go, Town Fair Tire. And when it comes to getting more free services for life than anywhere else on Falcon tires, there's only one place to go, Town Fair Tire. So when you're in the market for the best deal on Falcon tires, get to Town Fair, because nobody beats a Town Fair tire deal. And I mean absolutely nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Union, and Freehold, New Jersey. 3 powerhouse locations, 1 legendary name. Ray Katina. More selection, more convenience, and more ways to drive excellence. Experience the power of 3. Visit benzfam.com.
Talk Yankees and Mets all season long. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station. WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 12:01. I'm Peter Schwartz. This report is sponsored by Saints Joachim and Ann Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. And this report is also sponsored by Ray Katina. The experience, the power of 3. Visit benzfam.com. The Yankees and Mets are both off today after snapping their 5-game losing streak with yesterday's 3-2 win in Texas. Yankees are back home in the Bronx to open the series with the Astros tomorrow night. Manager Aaron Boone confident the Yankees can get on a roll.
I'm steadfast that I believe we have a great run in us, believe in those guys in the room, but as we've been saying kind of every day, right, we got to go do it. And this is just one win, definitely a little settling going into an off day, but, you know, we start a big homestand where we got to pedal down.
As for the Mets, after yesterday's 4-1 loss to the Guardians, the Mets opened up a series against the Brewers in Milwaukee on Friday night. At Jets camp this morning, head coach Aaron Glenn said that starters will play Saturday in the preseason opener against the Packers in Green Bay.
We're playing. I can't tell you how much the guys are going to play. It's going to factor about how the game goes, but we're playing.
Reason?
Because I want to play. That's the reason.
it's important at this point for Justin and these guys?
I want our guys to play. That's the reason.
Giants open up their preseason schedule Saturday afternoon against the Bills in Orchard Park. 80 degrees, sunny skies in Central Park. That's what's happening with Sports Flashes. At the top of the hour, I'm Peter Schwartz.
Catch all the play-by-play with Susan Waldman and Dave Sims. The home of Yankees radio. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
They wanna be down with the
BT and Sal back on the Fan. BT on vacation this week. He'll be back with us next week. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. We were down with the king topic of the day, and we started the show talking about the Mets and just the idea that it feels like there's overwhelming negativity surrounding this ball club. Look, I get it. They're in the midst of a rough stretch. You know me. I mean, I know that there's some irony in here. I'm yelling, freaking out, telling people to calm down when I'm as nuts as anybody else. But with this club, I really do think it's at a point where you just have to sit back and, I don't want to say enjoy the ride because there's nothing to enjoy about losing 8 out of 9, but wait and see how they figure it out. Let's see if Carlos Mendoza and his staff could get these guys to get unlocked. Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Nimmo all together. I mean, you want to throw in Vientos, they're fine. They need, they have the players in place. All the pieces are there. Their bullpen is loaded up. I even believe in their starting rotation, which, by the way, for the first time all year long, since the All-Star break, whatever it was, when Minaya and Senga came back, it's healthy, and it's only getting healthier, meaning Senga is figuring it out with his mechanics, and Minaya is building himself up to be able to go deeper in these games. But I still think the best baseball, and the Mets have been at times for April and May, all the way really through June 13th, one of the best teams, if not the best team in the sport. So what, April, May, and the first part of June don't count? We're all going to focus on what happened since June 13th. And by the way, if you go back and focus on what's happened since July, they're a 500 team. And that's what happens throughout the course of a season. They're not falling out of the playoff spot. They're not 5 games back. Like, those were times where there was, to me, legit reason to go nuts and panic and yell and scream about the Mets. Now, I get the expectations have raised, but let's calm down a little bit here, no? It's year 2 with David Stearns. Year 2. Year 1 with Juan Soto. This is still in the beginning stages of what the Mets are hoping to build a sustained winner here. Remember, I mean, they're still in a position to make the postseason for the second time or for the third time in franchise history as far as making it in consecutive years. That's a big deal. So I'm not trying to minimize the expectations. Obviously, it's World Series or bust. Before you get to that, you've got to get to the playoffs. And before you get to the playoffs, obviously, they got to do a good job, positioning themselves here, whether it's in the division or the wild card, which they've done. They're 2.5 games back. Phillies have had their own issues. So it just feels like Met fans, to me, it feels like at this point, a lot of Met fans are looking to something to complain about. Has Juan Soto been great? Absolutely not. No, he's been bad so far this year. According to his standards, Juan Soto, outside of 1 month, has been bad. Now, his bad is still better than most. Like, you see Vientos is bad. That's actual bad. When Nimmo's bad, that's actual bad. Soto's bad is still better than most because he's finding his way on base. But has he been anywhere near what he's supposed to be? No. Would you still want him on your team and take your chances with him come September, October? I mean, I don't know who wouldn't. So it's on the Mets to figure this thing out and go win the division. There are no excuses. And if they don't get it done, then the conversation will be, okay, well, how do they fix it? Right now, I'm not sure what the solution is. Like, you're not firing the hitting coach, and even so, that's not really doing anything. Those guys are doing what they're supposed to be doing. The hitters aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. Why? That's the, $765 million question. Why not? Soto doesn't know. They asked him about it after him. I don't know. At times, Lindor gets going. At times, Lindor is awful. At times, Alonso's hot. At times, Alonso's awful. At times, Nimmo's hot. At times, Nimmo's awful. Same thing with Soto, and so on. Look at their OPS and all this stuff since July. It's been bad. That's why the Mets are losing. That's the strength of their team. Well, maybe now the bullpen is the greatest strength of their team after the trade deadline, but they were built coming, I said this to Mendy yesterday, they were built coming into the year on the backs of those guys. Lindor, Soto, Alonso. You want to throw in Nimmo, McNeil, Vientos, whatever. The Alvarez, they were built to score runs. They have not consistently, from day one, scored a ton of runs. But yet they still have a great record or a very good record on par with the best in the sport. and still have the division right there, just 2.5 games back, even with all the losing. 2 weeks ago, they won 7. 2 weeks ago, not 2 months ago, not 2 years ago. 2 weeks ago, they won 7 games in a row. All right, it's offset by losing 8 and 9. Unfortunately, it happens. Should it happen to those degrees, the variation? Probably not. So I can understand being upset, but to lose belief in what this team should be at this point, to me, does not make much sense. I still believe the Mets have the horses to, like, this is not a 07, 08 disappointing collapse coming here. At least I don't see it that way. Not to say that it can't happen, but I fully believe in this team that they will be a playoff team. And then once they get in, be as dangerous as anybody else with the potential of the offense and with the potential of that bullpen or the legitimacy of that bullpen. How they get there, going to be a different story. But I never once looked at this, even after losing to Pittsburgh, which, by the way, was as ugly as you can get. Pittsburgh sucks, and the Mets got destroyed against Pittsburgh. Even after that, I still was like, they're going to be all right. And they were shortly thereafter, righting the ship. And it's been a 500 ride since then. 500 with basically nobody doing what they're supposed to be doing as far as the expectations goes. And I'm talking about rotation. I'm talking about offense. There's a lot of room to improve with this team. And I still believe you're going to see that improvement. BT, we also mentioned the Yankees. We have, obviously, the Yankees getting a big win. Booney yesterday pushing all the right buttons, going to the whip with Bednar closing out the game. Nice off day here. Yankees could reset, come back home, have the Astros in town, Old Timers Week. The Yankees desperately needed that win. You don't want to say must win, but, man, as big of a game as you could have in the regular season, certainly in August, they had to beat the Texas Rangers yesterday, hold them off, maintain their position in the playoffs as it stands right now, and just take a deep breath after getting a win. Relax, reset, see if they can get healthier here. I don't know if it's going to be Stanton in the outfield or Judge. We'll find out more, obviously, over the course of the weekend. Either way, Yankees needed that one. They needed a breather and try to reset things here and then go try to win a series from the Astros and maybe get back on track. BT and Sal on the Fan. We also had Mike Francesa on at 11 o'clock. In case you missed it, check it out on the free Odyssey app. Must listen, as Mike, as always, he was terrific talking New York sports, talked about the viral Giants and Giants video and all that stuff. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Nick is in Wharton, New Jersey. What's up, Nick?
What's going on, Sal? How we doing?
Good, Nick. How are you?
Good. So I want to talk about Eric Chavez a little bit, how everybody's getting all negative about him. Honestly, I really don't think that's the problem. I agree with what you've been saying most of the show. With all the runners in scoring position that we have, Lindor and Soto have the third and fourth most RISP. So how much of our team-wide terrible RISP numbers are simply a function of our two highest-paid players hitting like Jared Young with RISP? This is a couple things that I just wrote down. And how exactly would it help if we fire Chavez? The Mets fire Chavez and hire someone else. That someone else makes some change to the RISP approach. The offense gets better, hopefully. Nobody's actually explained to me what change a new hitting coach would make that would cause the Mets to suddenly start hitting with better RISP compared to how they hit with nobody on. Compared to how they hit with nobody on, the Mets aren't striking out more with RISP. They're not pulling the ball less. They're not hitting the ball softer. They're not hitting 10% more ground balls. What change would a new hitting coach make?
It wouldn't. I think it's an excellent point, and I want to continue the conversation and give you an example that we heard yesterday when we had Zach Scott on. It wouldn't, and I don't think the Mets' issue is singularly the lack of offense with runners in scoring position. I think that's Soto's biggest problem, and I think it's hurt the Mets, but I think they have an offense issue, period. I don't care if it's with runners in scoring position or with nobody on. It doesn't matter to me. They have not been consistent enough. But as far as the hitting coach goes, right, Nick? So yesterday we had Zach Scott on. And he talked about how he had to fire Chili Davis when he was with the Mets in 2021. And the reason he fired Chili Davis wasn't to spark the team. It wasn't because the offense wasn't producing to the level that he expected and somebody had to take the fall. It was because specifically, and these are his words, Zach Scott, he said Chili Davis would show up and was one of those guys that would be like, who are we facing today, a lefty or righty? And that's just one example. And now imagine that in today's world, obviously, whereas maybe that would fly in the 70s or 80s. The hitting coaches now, you got to be prepared. You got to know all these things and the matchups and have a plan. So in that particular case, I'm using that example that Zach gave us yesterday. That's a guy in Chili Davis that wasn't doing his job as a hitting coach. There are no signs or indications that Eric Chavez is not doing his job as a hitting coach.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly, my man. Of course.
Yeah, good call. And look, it's not fun, and thank you for the call. Like, it's not as fun to come on and say, hey, everybody calm down. Everything's going to be okay. Or they still have the horses in place, or don't fire this guy. Like, it's a lot more fun to go nuts. They need to fire this guy. Out of the league. Do something. Boone doesn't have it. Fire him. Chavez doesn't have it. Fire him. Like, I understand it. It does not make sense, especially as it pertains to the Mets hitting coach right now. I know they're having these hitters meet. Now, I don't know what goes on in there. I was out at Citi Field on Sunday morning. I went out there. I wanted to go say what's up to Mendy, see if I could book him for the show. Mission accomplished. We did. And I was talking with him, and we were talking for a few minutes, and he's like, you going to be here for a little while? I was like, yeah, man, I came to see you. What are you talking about? Man, I'm going to come to the game. I'm going to go home and go in the pool and listen and watch the game later. I want to come to see you. And he's like, I got to go. There's a hitters meeting right now. Now, I don't know if you knew this, and I'm sure that we all know that to a certain extent they have meetings, but like on the day of a game, a hitters meeting that's scheduled like that, like I wasn't sure that those things take place, and I didn't really care if they do or don't, but I know for a fact that my conversation with Mendy got interrupted, and I had to wait 10, 15 minutes for whatever their hitters meet. Like, they had a hitters meeting, meaning him and his coaches, about what the plan of attack was going to be for that day. He came back, we talked, whatever, all good, but like it's not like Chavez is sitting there picking his nose in the dugout or, scrolling Instagram. Like they have meetings, they're going over it, there's plans in place. Now, obviously, we don't care what happens. We care about the execution on the field. So you don't know about what's going on behind the scenes, nor do you really care about it. Yeah, that's great. Like the Lance Lynn Foul Territory podcast the other day, where Lance Lynn's like, oh, New York's got to relax. Aaron Boone gets on players behind the scenes. They're just not letting that get out. That's great. We assume that anyway. I assume Boone was harder on the players behind closed doors than he is publicly. The issue is I don't care. I care about the result. So if he's hard on the players behind the scenes, if Chavez and the Mets have a plan behind the scenes, what we're seeing executed, Boone holding the players accountable, it's not working on the field, obviously, because they keep making the same mistakes, or the Mets' offense approach is not great because they're not hitting consistently enough. That's what we care about, the execution. But is the execution in the Mets' case, is that because the hitting coach? Or is it because Juan Soto, Nimmo, Alonso, Lindor, or in funks, or Vientos, or in a funk? Is it Chavez? Hey, Chavez was the hitting coach last year. Vientos is great. Chavez is the hitting coach this year. Vientos is terrible. So how do you blame him? It makes no sense. Billy's calling from Greenwich, Connecticut. What's up, Billy?
Hey, Sal. Thanks for having me on. Obviously, there's a lot of talk going on about Mets, Yankees, Giants. They're all in kind of a quagmire. But in regards to the Yankees, Volpe, I think, is the athlete that everybody thinks he is, and I think he's just starstruck, and he's got to get out of that and start playing this game the way he knows how to play it. And he just seems like a deer in the headlights sometimes because he's at where he's at. He's New York Yankees shortstop. That's huge.
Right, and especially for him, a kid who grew up like that, a Yankees fan. I get it, but you have to admit, though, Billy, and I've been as critical as Volpe as anybody else. Yes, I've believed in him more than anybody else, but I've also been as critical of him as of late than anybody else, and I think he's deserved that with his play, or he's earned that criticism with his play. However, the last, week or so, you can see a difference in Volpe to that point where I don't look at him and say he's a deer in headlights or he's lacking confidence. I see a more confident Volpe. How long is that going to be there? How much production are you going to get from him? But I do see that it's kind of turned the corner a little bit in the positive way with Anthony Volpe.
I agree. And I think he is the athlete that we all think he is. Right. I think he has the potential to be a great player. I think just being young and in the position that he's in with the New York Yankees, it's a huge spotlight, and it's a lot to adjust to. And I think he is adjusting. It's just not happening as quickly as we would like it to.
I know, but it is
as far as Jazz Chisholm goes,
it is year 3. Go ahead.
Oh, I understand, but still, he's a young kid. Mm-hmm. It's a lot to handle. And as far as Jazz Chisholm is concerned, the guy's he's a poison. He really is. He walks around with this attitude that he's the greatest thing that ever happened to the game, and he's not. I mean, he's making – Little League kids don't make mistakes like this. And then come up with an excuse? Bush League.
Yeah, I'm not as harsh, but I'm with you for the most part there, Billy, and thank you for the call. It's a fine line because I think Jazz has a terrific, fun, energetic personality. There's a fine line between that and arrogance, maybe, is the right word to use with Jazz, where he thinks he's much better than he is. And I'm fine. Like, if that were the only issue, I'd be fine with that. But that's not the only issue. I don't think he's terrific defensively, even at second base, his natural position, or as good as we thought he was going to be. I don't think that Jazz is giving quality at bats the majority of the time. I think he runs into a bunch of home runs, and I think that that's appealing, especially for a guy of his size. I would rather him be a guy who grinds out at bats, puts the bat on the ball, uses that speed more often, and he's just not that type of player. So I think he's overrated to a certain extent. I like the unique personality. But if it's not going to be one that's fully self-aware, meaning like, hey, I got some things I got to clean up here. I need to be a little bit better, give better at bats, not get doubled off a first on a pop up to second. Like he didn't even acknowledge that was a mistake. He said he would do it again, and he tried to explain why he would do it. And it just doesn't make any sense. It was not a good baseball play whatsoever. There was no play to be made. So I don't think he's a cancer to the clubhouse or anything like that, or whatever word you said was toxic or something like that. I don't think it's that bad with Jazz. But as far as the ball player goes, I think that he's overrated as a baseball player. I would like to see more consistency. Annabelle is calling from Bridgeport, Connecticut. What's up, Annabelle?
Hey, how you doing, Sal? Good show as always.
Thanks.
I like the conversation you had with my Francesa. My Francesa hit all the points on the Mets and the Yankees. What a great job.
Well, I mean, he's the GOAT. Yeah, would you expect anything less? Of course.
You know, the Mets, I mean, we have a better team this year than we did last year due to the fact that we fixed the bullpen. We have a great bullpen now, and it's just that the Mets are not hitting consistently. You get one player hot, one cold, one hot. They're not doing it all at the same time. I believe they're going to get it together. Carlos Mendoza is a great manager. I like him a lot. And I think we're going to be fine. We just got to start hitting. Well, I mean, we start hitting. We got the bullpen.
Well, that's the thing, and you heard Mike talk about that. You're right, Annabelle, and thank you for the call. In case you missed it, check it out on the free Odyssey app. The Mets bullpen is now loaded. Like, it's going to be a weapon down the stretch, come playoff time, if, in fact, they could actually give the bullpen a lead. Helsley and Diaz is as good as it gets in the entire sport. Not to mention the other guys. I don't love Soto out of the bullpen necessarily, but I like him. I like Brooks Raley a lot. Rogers. I mean, the Mets have 5 guys. 5. Raley, Soto, Rogers, Diaz, Helsley. 5 guys to get big outs late in these games. That's a lot. Now, you don't want to use, 4 of them every friggin' night. But, and that plays to the starters have to, having to go deeper in these games. But even the lesser guys in that Mets bullpen can eat a solid inning or two, whether it's Garrett or Stanek or whatever. But you want to give those guys a lead. You want to hand it over to them in the 7th, let's say, with a 5-3 lead. It should be lights out. It's always a balance. We could always focus on, well, they got great starting pitching, or they need starting pitching, or they got a great bullpen, or they need a bullpen, or they got a great offense, or they need an offense. It's always going to take some combination of all 3 clicking together. Like, what good's a great bullpen if you can't score runs? What good's a great offense if the starters can't get outs? What good's a great staff if we saw it with DeGrom forever with the Mets, if the offense can't score? Like, there's many different layers to winning a baseball game. The reason why I'm not overly negative right now on the Mets is because they have the pieces in place. Those guys just got to do their jobs. They might not. And if they don't, I guarantee you it'll be a different story. BT and Sal on the Fan. More your calls when we come back. 888-808-1019.
From the first pitch to the final whistle, WFAN delivers wall-to-wall Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets coverage because in New York, every game matters. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
The last few weeks of summer are here. Get out there and make them count. Experience all that summer has to offer with the Ford Bronco. Want to hit scenic destinations? Bronco's GOAT modes let you confidently tackle any terrain. Want to feel the wind in your hair? Why not take off the roof and the doors to feel the breeze, wherever adventure may take you. Plus, with over 100 factory-backed accessories, you can bring all of your gear along too. So visit your local Ford store today to find the Bronco that will take your summer to the next level.
It's the bottom of the ninth, and wait a minute, there's a flood in the dugout?
Who tried to fix the pipes with chewing gum and hope? Call Roto-Rooter. Stat.
Our phone only calls the bullpen.
Bring in the closer.
Time to shut down that leak and get out of this jam.
And boom, the pros from Roto-Rooter saved the game.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
This month at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. Be here Fridays in August when one winner will be drawn every hour to win $1,000 from 4 to 7 p.m. Then on Friday, August 29th, starting at 4 p.m., one winner will be drawn every 30 minutes to win $500 in free play. At 7 p.m., 3 grand prize winners will be drawn to win either a 2025 Polaris Slingshot or up to $10,000 cash. Come to where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
More residents are getting quality, affordable health insurance through Get Covered New Jersey. If you've had a major life event, you may be eligible to enroll now. 9 in 10 enrolling get financial help, and many pay $10 a month or less. Visit getcovered.nj.gov.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's Ocean Waves and Kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Before you begin your road trip, ask yourself, do you really need 5 full suitcases? With the new 2026 Kia Sportage X-Pro's class-leading cargo space, you'll have room for what you need. Find out more at your local Kia dealer today. Keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely and obey all traffic laws. Comparisons based on second row legroom and cargo space behind second row seats in the subcompact SUV class according to Kia segmentation as of June 2025.
This is Sal Licata. You definitely don't want your AC system to fail this summer. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's air conditioning experts. Have them check your cooling system now. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They are the real deal. Go to EdisonHVAC.com.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Back to school is on the brain. That means new notebooks, pencils, new everything. And while the kids are getting ready to get book smart, it's time for you to save smart with Straight Talk Wireless. Switch now and get a free Moto G 2025 with 5G when you activate select plans. Now that's a smart call. Get Straight Talk covered by Verizon's 5G network. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Offer valid through 10/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Purchase of gold unlimited plan or higher required for offer. Must activate the plan in-store at Walmart. Cannot be combined with other offers.
When you travel well, your KLM Royal Dutch Airlines ticket takes you to more than just your destination. It takes you to front row views, voices lost in the music, and new shared memories. And when the last song fades,
Welcome aboard KLM Royal Dutch.
The KLM Royal Dutch Airlines crew is here to ensure your journey home hits all the right notes.
To fasten seatbelt signs.
KLM Royal Dutch Airlines. When you travel, travel well.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. 888-808-1019, the number to call. So I had an issue again the other night. I didn't even tell you about this, I don't think. I might have told you, but we didn't get into it. I get home from work. Like, you know, I'm do the show here. I go do SNY, and then I go home, and I'm usually tired and cranky because I haven't eaten. You never know what's going to happen, who needs what when you get home, whatever. But I knew that my wife was having some friends over to use the pool during the day. Now, a part of me, like, of course I'm excited for her. Hey, you should be doing that. Use the pool. I would like to get use out of it. But a part of me is also like, yeah, of course you get to use the pool and I got to go to work all day. Part of me. Like, I'm a good husband. Enjoy it. Have your friends over, whatever. But then I get home, and so I'm a little cranky to begin with. Yeah, that's nice. Everybody had a great day, and I'm at work all day long. And I go immediately, like, I admit I have neuroses with this. Like, I'm neurotic. Use the pool, or whatever it may be. Like, the least you could be able to do is clean up after yourselves. You know what I mean? And really Sammy, because she's the one who's going to bring the little toys into the pool. So, and I know this because of experience. I'm the one who's primarily in the pool with Sammy over the course of the weekend. And I know how it works because my father used to yell at me, hey, don't leave that toy in the pool. I don't want anything at the bottom of this pool. You know why? Because when he's got to go vacuum it, and back then it wasn't the pool robot, it was the manual stuff. Somebody's got to go get whatever there is out of there. Otherwise, it's going to get sucked up and caught in the vacuum if you don't see it. So make sure that there's nothing on the bottom of this pool. That's number one. Number two, if you leave something in here, it could get stuck in the skimmer and then ruin that and the fill, whatever. So I've known this my whole life. So I get home, and I'm like, or I'm on my way home, and I'm already on edge. And then my wife calls, and then I shouldn't say I'm on edge, but, you know, it's just like the day's winding down, and you don't know what you're going to walk into. And then my wife calls, hey, whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm like 5 minutes away. Now, remember, her friends came over for the day to use the pool. It's 7:30 at night. And she tells me her friends are still there. I'm like, what? Now, I showed restraint. I'm learning, Mike. I showed restraint and didn't say anything there, but now I'm bothered. Like, what do you mean your friends are still there? Like, it's 7:30. I'm coming home from work. I want to watch the games, not to mention go clean up the pool and see what mess you left there. I want to watch that. Like, come on. So I walk in, and obviously I'm not in the best of moods. And the first thing I do is walk in to take a look at what's going on in the pool. And what do you think is going on there? There's Barbie dolls floating in the pool. There's Spider-Man stuff stuck in the skimmer. Like, I go to each skimmer, boom, the toys in there, predictable. There's the things that you throw at the bottom of the pool that are stuck at the bottom of the pool. A bluey toy that shouldn't be in the pool to begin with. That's at the bottom of it. It's still there, by the way, because I'm not going in. I don't have time to go in during the week. And if I don't do it, who's doing it? And meanwhile, I don't even like going down to the deep end anymore. I can't hold my breath that long. I'm old. I used to like it. Now I'm afraid of it. I can't go all the way down to the deep end, so I got to take the time and get the skimmer, you know, whatever, all that. I haven't taken the time to do that. That's number one. So now I'm already, like, I'm really annoyed. And then I walk back inside, like, ticked off and trying to show my wife signs that I am ticked off, but I can't overreact because her friends are there. One of her friends is passed out on our couch taking a nap. What? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? A nap? She didn't want to go home? She's too tired? She took a nap? From swimming in the pool all day long? The other one, you know, is fine at the end. And I like both friends. Like, that's not the issue. The issue is it's a weeknight. I'm tired. I'm cranky. It's been a long day. You enjoyed the pool. Friends are napping on the couch. Like, what the hell's going on here? Bothered me. And I didn't really say anything until the next day. And that's where I made my mistake. I couldn't hold it in. I did such a good job that night, and my wife could see I was mad. And then after her friends left, they were there for maybe an hour, and I was watching like baseball in another room. Then she comes over and tries to cozy up. You know how it works. Yeah, then I start thinking other things. And then I forget about the pool, and I'm all good to go. Oh, yeah. All right. Now I remember. But then the next day, I said something else, and it always leads to a fight naturally. Hoff, am I in the wrong here, though? I mean, come on. You get home from a long day at work. Your friends are over for the day, napping on the couch at 7:30, not to mention you leave the pool a mess. Like, can we clean up, please, a little bit here?
See, here's the thing is I would just ignore it. Like, I wouldn't I'm not as, like, you're a bit more of a clean freak than I am at times. I'm not saying I'm not a clean freak, but, like,
you get the toys in the skimmer and they're all over the book.
But I can't be neurotic like that. Like, I got home, I got to take care of myself before I do anything else.
Right.
My wife would tell me to take care of everything, and then I'd flip.
Well, that would be. She didn't say that, but because she knew the issue and that I wasn't going to be happy with it. But it just, well, I tried to clean the best I can. Oh, yeah? What about the Barbie doll that was sitting here floating next to the corner of the pool? What about the things that are in this? She probably didn't even see the Spider-Man stuff because they was already in the skimmer there. But what about forget the pool? All right, I'll take responsibility. You clean the house the most part. I'll take care of responsibility of the pool, even if you mess it up. What about the friend sleeping on the couch at 7:30 at night? You got to take a nap? Come on. I thought part of the deal is if you're going to have your friends over during the day, you do while I'm at work. When I come home, they should be gone.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little... Were they wasted?
Now my wife did explain to me afterward, it's not what you think. She's just really tired from a day at the pool. It wasn't like we were all drinking wine. There were 2 bottles of wine that were open.
Oh, okay.
You do the math.
Yeah.
I would trust my wife in this spot. It's not like they're, I'm not saying they were just boozing all day long. But either way, I don't care what it's like the Mets. Like, I don't care about the process, or with Boone and the Yankees. I don't care about the process. I care about the results. However you got here, your friend's still sleeping on our couch at 7:30 at night when I'm coming home from work. Like, however it happened, drinking, tired, that really is not my problem. The problem is she's still here. That's the issue.
All right, another question.
Oh, I hope she's not listening to this.
Yeah. Another question. You don't want her to listen to this one. Scale of 1 to 10, how'd the friend look?
How'd the what?
How'd the friend look?
Oh, come on.
I just was wondering.
I am not. Oh, come on. What are you single?
No. I'm just saying.
She's single if you like.
I'm not looking for me. I'm looking for you. Maybe a little
no
party.
Let me tell you something. The last thing I would ever do again is get myself involved in a relationship. This is it. My wife she has my word with that one. I guarantee you. I was reading the other day about some idiot who's got 3 marriages going on at once. Like, what? 3 marriages at once? Hey, you want to make the case that somebody's like, all right, well, person cheating, okay, whatever, it happens. It's sad, but it happens. Somewhat, like you could say, well, the marriage is running tired or whatever. 3 marriages? Like, joke's on you, pal. I don't know who you thought you would get. Who wants to be married to 3 different women at the same time? Not me. You see that article? 3 marriages going on at once. I mean, put that guy in a psych ward. 3? I remember the first one. Before the first one, my father, who was driving somewhere, I forget where it was, but he's like, you sure you want to do this? And I'm like, what are you talking about, Dad? Yeah, of course. You got married, you're with Mom, all good, right? I met a girl I love and trust and all that stuff. Yeah, what's wrong? You sure? And then it took about 3 to 5 years to understand why he asked me multiple times before we got married. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019, the number to call. Jeff is calling from Rockaway. What's up, Jeff?
Sal.
Jeff.
I called you last in 2011.
I remember it.
And we talked about Troy Tulowitzki, who you loved and you wanted.
I wanted him badly for the Mets. Yes, too long.
And I said to you in 2011, I'm still the best at this. I'm still the best at all of this. But I said, Sal, Ben Zobrist is a really good player and he'd be half the money. And you start screaming, Ben Zobrist stinks.
Zobust. I call him Zobust. I know. The next year he wins the World Series MVP. I get it.
He led the league in WAR and he won the World. He was second in the league in WAR.
I know.
And he won the World Series.
Yeah, how did he do after that? Zobust.
Stop. All right. Let's go on. Let's move on. Let's talk about. I have something that is interesting after I go with this premise, okay? Carlos Mendoza, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to defend him, okay? You have a player that has a 200 batting average with a 250 on base, okay? Let's just say player A, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're down 2-0 in the 5th inning. The 9 hitter is this person. There's first and second with 2 outs. You're down 2 runs. He does not pinch hit for him. Okay.
Who was? Give me the spot. Refresh me here.
It was down 2-0.
Yeah.
Bottom 5, 2 outs. first and second, and he's a 9-hitter. He left them up.
Yeah, but who was it?
It was Tyrone Taylor.
Okay.
200 batting average.
I just want to make sure it wasn't a catcher. Yeah, go ahead.
250 on base. Okay, now we move on to the 8th inning. The Mets are still down, and Tyrone Taylor leads off the 8th inning. How do you defend that? And not only that, he did it again in the 7th inning of a game the Mets were losing, and he let him off. You cannot.
But he's pinch hit for him before. I mean, look.
Stop.
Go ahead.
Stop. You can't defend that. Okay.
Well, no, he's a player on the. He's a player. By the way, Cedric Mullins not lighting it up either. So, like,
not relevant. He's the worst hitter.
No, it is relevant. It is relevant. You've got to.
Please stop.
So, right, Jeff, what are you saying? You don't want Tyrone Taylor ever to step in the batter's box with the Mets?
No, that's ridiculous. That's not what I'm saying.
I don't know what you're saying. You're saying leading off. He's hitting. He's got guys on.
Down, could I answer?
Yeah.
When you're down runs, you pinch hit for him. You had many people on the bench, including Mullins, who's new. He's a worst hitter.
Mullins is stunk offensively.
No, come on. All right, that's ridiculous. You're not agreeing with me on this.
No,
okay.
it's not that I don't agree with you. I'm just saying that, I think if there's a spot, Mendy did pinch hit for Tyrone Taylor the other day. I think if there's a key spot and Tyrone Taylor's up in a key spot and they have, Mullins obviously available off the bench, I'm not saying I would pinch hit with Mullins. Maybe you pinch hit with a better matchup and obviously have Mullins be able to play center field.
There is no worse matchup. As a matter of fact, it was so bad and so heinous that one of the sports writers actually asked Mendoza, he said, I think you could have got, and Mendoza looked at him like he had 3 heads. He was like, oh, no, this is a fireable offense. Okay, not only that, but he makes these weird – he puts up – the other day he puts up Marte first out of nowhere. He decides to lead off Marte. Okay.
Yeah, because it was against the lefty, yes.
No, he shouldn't bat leader. Come on.
Well, okay, who should against the lefty? I'm curious.
In my opinion, I've been saying this all year, the best guy for leadoff all year has been Soto. He has a 400 on base.
No, you cannot leading off. Not leading off Soto. And by the way, so Soto's got to be.
Why not?
It's stupid. That's number one. It would be stupid. But Jeff, aside from that, Soto was hitting third.
Got 17 stolen bases.
Okay, so my point is,
he's got a 400 on base.
Yeah, he's not a stolen bases guy.
I don't want to lead him off because it's stupid.
Yeah, it is. It is stupid.
Come on, so I'm the best at this. I am the best at this.
At what? The best at what?
Baseball, analyzing. There's nobody better. I'm the best in the country. Forget about you. The only one that could go near me is the GOAT, Francesa. I'll go back and forth with him, but you got to agree with me on these things.
No,
Jeff, nonsense.
Jeff, I don't agree with you. And
I have one more. I have one more quick one.
Nah.
Okay.
Sure, what do you think? Dove, should I let Jeff give us one more, the expert? One more, or should we, has time expired here? Jeff, I will leave your fate up in the hands of Dove and Hoff. Dove, what do you think here?
Give him one more.
Okay. Hoff, what do you think?
I'll side with Dove on this one.
Okay, go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. In a game with the Yankees recently, okay, and this is one of the reasons why I'm the best, okay? You had Bellinger on first base, right? And you had I'm actually forgetting his name now.
Jeff.
Stanton.
Jeff. Yeah.
Stanton.
Okay.
Stanton was batting. The team was down a run, right? Stanton hits. It was 1 out with a man on first, Bellinger.
Mm-hmm.
Stanton hits a pop-up, right, 20 feet from first base, right? Now, what you must do there, because Stanton is so slow, it takes 3 hits to get him home. You have to let that ball drop, and you have to get the force at second. Bellinger was 5 feet from the bag, and guess what Bellinger does? My girlfriend is probably the second smartest because she sits next to me while we watch games. But she's now the second smartest person in the world. Bellinger stole second the next pit or the next, during the next at bat. And I said,
Jeff, how old are you, Jeff?
Well, I'm in my 50s now.
What do you do for a living?
I am an investor. I've always been an investor. Collectibles, stock market. I'm a broker. You tell me what. I have 142 IQ. But I didn't want to bring that up.
So then why, maybe you missed your calling trying to get in a dugout or something if you think you're the best at it.
There's a lot of callings when you have as much talent as I do.
Right.
There's 50 callings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I leave it for you.
Yeah.
I got to take you a chance.
Well, here's the difference. I felt like this was my best thing, and then I went out there and did it. And thank you for the call, Jeff. You said that you're the best at, you keep saying I'm the best at this, and I'm like, well, what exactly? Did you mean calling the station? Did you mean coming up with ideas when to pinch hit for somebody? I'm still not sure what you meant you were the best at, and I'm sure you're great at what you do with the other stuff with your high IQ. But to me, and this might just be me, all due respect, Jeff, I'm not trying to minimize you. You seem very intellectual, at the very least when it comes to baseball. I'll choose to trust, the guys that actually do it. Like Mendy or Booney, even at their worst. Pick another guy that's a coach or has been a coach before. I'll tend to skew toward their knowledge in the area of expertise as opposed to yours. Not to mention my own. I'll take mine and put it up against yours. My belief in what to do in certain spots and go against yours. But really, we should just both be letting them do what they do because they're the ones that do it. And to come on and say that you're the best, I don't know. Dove, did you get a sense that Jeff was the best? Really?
He thought so for sure.
Right. Usually that's the first sign of, not being the best.
Humility, not his top trait.
Yeah. Hoff, you think Jeff was the best there? You think Jeff was the best there? He said he was the best, No. Hoff just goes, no. All right. I don't know what to do with that one. And he's referencing a call that we had, 2011. I did want Tulowitzki. Did not want Ben Zobrist. Zobust at the time. And he goes out and wins the World Series MVP. And then what? He fell off. Proving that, in fact, I was correct again. Just took a little while. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019, the number to call. Speaking of the best, guys, by now, you heard me talk about Collars & Co., makers of the dress collar polo. They've already sold over 1 million of these amazing shirts. Well, Collars & Co. just came out with the new Maverick Performance Blazer. This blazer is sharp and wrinkle-resistant, so you can travel anywhere with it. Just throw it in your bag, and it will remain wrinkle-free. It even comes with security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So visit collarsandco.com and check them out today.
It's Evan and Tiki. Afternoons on the Fan 101.9 FM.
So the Yankees were able to not trade top-end prospects, at least ones that aren't ranked very high, because you never know what the next few years are going to look like. And they were able to bring in 6 different players. 5 of the 6 are here next year.
Listen to Evan and Tiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Shedeur Sanders will start the Browns preseason opener Friday, but don't get it twisted. This isn't a promotion. It's a chance born from injuries and roster moves. Sanders remains 4th string behind Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dylan Gabriel, and hasn't taken a snap with the #1 offense all camp. Expect simple plays, no fireworks. It's a trial by fire, not a coronation. But for Sanders, it's the first step towards his dream. I'm Maggie Gray.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Clouds give way to sun. High 82.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Jerry Recco. If you're facing hair loss like I am, I would like to share my journey at Great Many, New York City's cutting-edge hair growth studio. Looking to regrow your hair safely and effectively? Forget those risky pills with scary side effects and costly trips to Turkey. At Great Many, they use PRP, regenerative medicine trusted by pro athletes for recovery. It's a natural, non-surgical solution that really works. Check out my journey and visit greatmany.com/fan to learn more and save $200 today. Don't hesitate. Take action now like I have. Go to greatmany.com/fan to book your treatment or get a free consultation.
Connecticut's best values at Town Fair Tire. They honor all manufacturer and valid competitor rebates, offer the most free services for life, plus give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Hey, baseball fans, go yard with BetMGM, the sportsbook that knows how to treat you right. It's an exciting time of the year for fans of America's pastime, and with BetMGM, you can be a part of every diving catch, every double play, every strikeout, and every home run from your favorite teams and players. From the first pitch to the game-winning fireworks, there are more ways than ever to supercharge your excitement. Download the BetMGM app, sign up, and get your piece of MLB action. BetMGM is an official partner of Major League Baseball. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
Dedication isn't born in the light of day. It's carved in the quiet hours before the world blinks awake. At Boar's Head, we rise with a mission to deliver craftsmanship worthy of your table. A slice of something special folded into every moment worth savoring. Because dedication means delivering only the very best. Boar's Head, committed to craft since 1905.
Hey, Yankees fans, arrive early at Yankee Stadium on Saturday, August 9th for our Old Timers Day, commemorating the 25th anniversary of the 2000 Yankees winning the Subway Series, presented by Fresh Direct. See Yankees legends put on the pinstripes again and take the field at Yankee Stadium. Relive memories of your favorite former Yankees and make new memories with your family. Get your Saturday, August 9th Old Timers Day tickets commemorating the 25th anniversary of the 2000 Yankees, presented by Fresh Direct at yankees.com/tickets today.
Now it's time to power up with BT and Sal.
All right, here we go. A little power up as we do every Thursday at 12:40, and we teased yesterday. A caller earlier in the week told Hoff, he got on the air with me and he kind of alluded to a little bit, but he wanted to talk some sports. But he told Hoff that he was buddies with Redman, a.k.a. Reggie Noble, a.k.a. Doc's the Name. And he said something like Redman had an issue with my opinion of Kayvon Thibodeau going back a couple years ago, whatever it was. So that got me in the Redman mode. I'd love to talk to Reggie. Love Redman. One of my favorites. So I want to power up today with the most powerful Redman songs. And this is my opinion. I'm not going based off of just lyrics or whatever it may be or success. I'm just going off of my favorite songs. Now, I added a sixth. Usually we do power up with 5, but I added a sixth here with for Redman because I wasn't sure about if we should just do Redman in isolation or collab songs. So there are a couple of collaboration songs that I want in here. Power Up is brought to you by Princeton Longevity Center. Experience the power of personalized medicine. All right, you ready? Hoff, I'm not sure how familiar you are with Redman. We're going to find out. We'll have a conversation about him in between.
Come with folk halogen, terrorize your city from this committee. Kick to both Timberlands turn gritty. Smack the.
Now, I love this song. This is with LL Cool J, Method Man, Redman, 4321. This is one of my favorites here. I would put it number 6 only because I'm not sure if you want to have just clean Redman. I kind of saved the top 3 for solo Redman songs that came off of his album. But this one I love. All right, number 5 for me, another collab, and maybe this was my initiation into Redman years ago in the early 90s. This is from Tupac's album, All Eyes on Me, Got My Mind Made Up. I mean, Redman is so good. Now, this is why I have to have it a little bit lower, because it's a Tupac song on there. Same thing with the LL Cool 432 and kind of LL Cool J, so I can't really put it high for Redman, but I love those songs, and Redman obviously a key part on. All right, now we start getting into more. This is still a collab, but it's Method Man and Redman, and they had an album together. Those two guys, name me a better tag team in rap than Method Man and Redman. Like, I love Kanye and Jay-Z's album when they did it together, Watch the Throne, whatever it was. And I know there have been other great collaborations. To me, whatever you want to go, Dre and Snoop, whoever you want to pick. For me, there is no better tag team that sound perfect together than Method Man and Redman. Here's my number 4. One arm slam you like Nikolai Volkov. Big dogs, Method Man and Redman. Oh, yeah, turn this off. I'm the phone doctor. Now, we got to be careful here because Al's got to dig out the clean versions of these songs, obviously, but he's done a good job of doing that. All right, so those are my bottom 3. Now we get into some really good Redman stuff. This one, you may know, famously used as the entrance song for Mike Tyson when he would walk out to a big fight. Number 3. Time for some. Oh, dude, come on. And Mike Tyson coming out in the black trunks? I'd be lying if I said Tyson didn't have an impact on that, but come on, that is a great song from there. That was that his first album? What the album? Time for Some Action? I'm pretty sure it was his first one. At least it was the first one that I was familiar with. And then Muddy Waters came after that and featured great songs. But that Time for Some Action song, come on, you hear that, you got to be pumped up. Yeah, Reggie. Reggie's the man. By the way, this was very difficult for me to do just to get it down to 6. There are so many great songs with Redman. Number 2, now I've used this beat when we do the Perfect Parlay pick segment. That's how much I love this. Probably wanted to make it number 1, but there's one more that I had to rank above it for Redman, for me personally, but this is my number 2 from Redman. The goodness, I mean, oh yeah. Yeah, Reggie. It's so weird to me, too, because you listen to the lyrics, like, I have never done drugs before, and Redman talks quite often about getting high and all that stuff, but come on, lyrically, as good as it gets. And the beat for that song, to goodness, oh, man. And now, number 1, and by the way, Hurley is a rap aficionado here. Ryan, if you want to chime in on any of this, if you think that I'm either incorrect or you have something that you want to add, because I was thinking about this before, but you're always in meetings and stuff like that.
I think Time for Some Action might be
number 1.
Number 1.
Yeah, I figured that.
It's also kind of a pop track if you're going to go
all right.
tracks from Redman. I mean, that's probably one of the most popular tracks he's done.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I'm saying.
No arguments where you have it.
So far, we're okay. When I was coming up with this, I was envisioning you. I don't know if you're going to be in meetings or around for this segment. It's very hard to narrow it down. And I like some of the more pop songs, like the How High remix. We talked about that with Tony Braxton is great. Obviously, Time for Some Action, a great song. I wish you had Francesa back on to talk some Redman, though. That would have been the move. If we could arrange that, get him back up. That is
cool,
a great
Mike?
point. Mike, just bear with us here. I'll power up here with the Redman songs. Your thoughts on Reggie Noble? That's a good line. All right, number 1, my number 1 Redman song. Yeah, but man. Redman doesn't like my thoughts on Kayvon Thibodeau? Whatever, man. Oh, come on, whatever, man. That is I just hear that song. And look, I think it all is subjective and relative to where you were in your life. For me, I was just starting to drive at that point. Might have been my first year in college. Might have been, just starting to drive in the car. So you get the CDs, whatever, man. To me, I hear that. It just brings me back. So hard to pick a favorite out of all of them. But those are just some of my favorite Redman songs as we power up with Reggie Noble, because apparently he's a big fan of the show. Now, Reg, we just got to get you in studio. Let's talk some football and maybe some of those tracks. Now, are you a Redman fan, Hoff, at all, or no?
Again, I think I said this yesterday. Like, I'm definitely more of like a Method Man fan. Like, I'm more Wu-Tang.
Right.
But listen to these songs. They're classics.
I mean, these are great songs. Now I've been on a Redman kick. Like, I watched the Billy Joel doc a couple of weeks ago, and I was on a Billy Joel kick. And even to a point where my daughter started getting into, play Billy Joel. Well, now Daddy's going to be playing Redman. And now she...
And I wish I could play the part 2, the How High with Tony Braxton.
You can't even play the beat to it?
Well, come on,
I love that song.
I can't find a clean version. I mean, there's not one that I could find. I'm dying to play it. I'm going to play it in my car when I get home.
You think Francesa would ever watch the movie, because it's from the soundtrack,
Yes.
How High? You think Francesa would ever watch Method Man and Redman, to Hurley's point? Forget about listening to them, but like How High?
Maybe Harrison would be able to convince him to watch the movie.
You know, that is one thing I did forget. I had on my list, but we were already going, for a half hour with Mike. I did want to ask him if he was going to see The Naked Gun. Any movies coming up that, he saw Superman, and I'm not so sure The Naked Gun would be from. I had that, I just forgot.
True story?
God, I'm an idiot. Maybe I'll just text him about that. Or I could bring it up on the golf course in a couple of weeks. All right, BT and Sal on the fan. We'll reset, come back, get your calls here. Mets, Yanks, whatever else is on your mind, really. You want to talk some Reggie Noble, I'm fine with that, too. 888-808-1019.
Going on a drive deep to left. Got a chance. Giddy up, baby.
The Yankees are back in the Bronx taking on the Astros. 7:05 tomorrow night. Driven by Jeep.
And it is gone.
That was an extraordinary play.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all the play-by-play on the home of Yankees baseball. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
The Fun in the Sun event is on at Nielsen Dodge. Your new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram is here with 0 down payment, 0% financing available, and the credit help you deserve. Now that's fun.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Altitude X 4x4, just $359 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4, just $399 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
You can get up to $1,500 over book value for any trade.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
So, for super hot deals and fun savings, remember,
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Make this the summer event.
With approval term Jeep 24 Ram 42 months due at sign, Jeep 4654 Ram 4989 and tax tag 498 doc and DMV fees.
Life's rewarding, especially with Flushing Bank's Complete Cash Rewards program. Just open a personal or business complete checking account to get started. With 29 New York Metro locations, there's nothing easier or more rewarding. Visit flushingbank.com today. Member FDIC.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
More residents are getting quality, affordable health insurance through Get Covered New Jersey. If you've had a major life event, you may be eligible to enroll now. 9 in 10 enrolling get financial help, and many pay $10 a month or less. Visit getcovered.nj.gov.
Ready to score the biggest deal in breakfast? It's waiting for you at Dunkin'. Dunkin' is serving up the ultimate $5 meal deal. Get 1 premium hot or iced coffee and any 2 delicious wake-up wrap sandwiches for just $5. Whether you're fueling up for a big day or keeping it casual, this deal has you covered. A smooth, bold Dunkin' coffee paired with 2 warm, tasty wake-up wraps? Now that's what we call a big deal. Excludes espresso and cold brew beverages. Modifications may be an additional charge. Participation may vary. Limited time offer cannot be combined with offers. Exclusion and terms apply.
Talk sports with BT and Sal. Middays 10 to 2. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Sponsored by Primo Brands, the official water sponsor of MLB, Major League Baseball, trademarks used with permission. Good afternoon at 1:02. I'm Peter Schwartz. This report sponsored by Cars for Kids. Cars with a K. WFAN congratulates Cars for Kids on 30 years of changing lives. Over 1 million cars donated. More than 100,000 kids help be part of the legacy. Donate your car today at carsforkids.org and join over 1 million satisfied donors. It's an off day for the Yankees and Mets. Yesterday, the Bombers put an end to their 5-game losing streak, beating the Rangers 3-2. Paul Goldschmidt snapping a 2-2 tie with a pinch hit homer in the 7th inning. He is hopeful the Yankees can get going.
We know we need as many wins as we can. We know we haven't been playing our best. You know, we knew we had lost a bunch in a row, but you can't carry that day to day, and we can't change what's happened. We just got to take it day by day, try to win as many as we can, and hopefully give ourselves a chance.
Goldschmidt with Susan Waldman here on The Fan after the game yesterday. As for the Mets, a 4-1 loss to the Guardians yesterday, and they'll open up a series tomorrow in Milwaukee against the Brewers. At Jets camp this morning, cornerback Sauce Gardner asked what the best part of playing for the Jets is.
I would say, the fans for sure, just having those electric fans that just, welcome me with open arms since day one, on and off the field. And, it's New York, so everybody loves New York, so it's just and my name's Sauce, so, that make a lot of sense, too. So it's just a blessing to be able to play here.
Jets open up their preseason Saturday night in Green Bay. The Giants face the Bills Saturday afternoon in Orchard Park. 81 degrees, partly cloudy skies in Central Park. That's what's happening with Sports Flash at the top of the hour. I'm Peter Schwartz.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
I like Snoop, but this is weak. The BT and Sal Show on the Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets. We talked some football earlier with Francesa. In case you missed it, check it out on the free Odyssey app. And I can't wait to do more football. We're going to do a heavy football show tomorrow. Obviously, no baseball games to react to tonight with the Mets and Yankees both being off. I'm sure there's always going to be baseball stories, something will come up. Who knows? Maybe the Mets call these kids up. Maybe something happens to the Yankees, roster-wise, whatever. But we're going to plan on doing a heavy football show tomorrow. And I think we should have Nick Costos in studio. We get the scene set. It's only August 8th, but a football Friday. Why not set the scene a little bit with the preseason week 1 underway here? You got the Jets and Giants both playing on Saturday. I did watch a little Hard Knocks on Thursday. I enjoyed it. Get me back into the season. It's fun to watch a Hard Knocks episode with a real star in Josh Allen and the Bills, who are a legitimate team, as opposed to maybe last year with the Bears. I didn't really get that much into it. So Hard Knocks, a good sign and fun that football is coming. We're excited about it. Can't wait. Hopefully both the Jets and Giants are good. Now, I don't know if the Jets are going to be a good team this year, but I do know that their staff has excellent taste in restaurants. A little birdie told me that the Jets had a nice dinner last night. Hoff, you want to take a guess where that dinner was with the New York Jets?
Chipotle.
No. I mean, that's not bad either. Wendy's, of course, is great. The Jets apparently were dining at our spot, Rails. And I was told that Aaron Glenn gave a nice speech at the half. And I had to ask, of course, well, what does that mean, halftime? Is that, dessert after the meal before dessert, or is it after the apps before the main course? What would you guess in that spot? I would probably guess after apps before the meal. If you're going to give a speech, you do it after apps. You get the apps going, and it's like, all right, here we go, game time.
I mean, I would think maybe like mid main course.
No, then you're interrupting the main course. You can't do that.
No, but like you have seconds, right? Like I mean, most of the time people have like their first, once the main course comes out, you get like the first dish, and then it's like, boys.
Yeah,
we gotta go. We can't let this sit.
No, I was told there was a big speech after the apps. Aaron Glenn and his staff enjoying a little rails, which, come on, God bless them. I know they got good taste in that. And then Glenn give that speech before the meal, firing his team up. Let's go. Obviously, with the off day yesterday and back in action today with the practice, training camp, whatever it may be. Look, man, I'm all in for Aaron Glenn. I love the fact that he's a Parcells disciple. Parcells is my favorite. I think Belichick's the best to ever do it. Parcells is my favorite. So I love the fact that you have Aaron Glenn, a Parcells disciple here. I just want to see it implemented. I don't love Justin Fields. Call me crazy, but I like a quarterback who could throw the football. Now, I like one who could run it too, but I'd prefer that the quarterback has the ability to throw the football, and Fields just hasn't shown that yet. Hopefully, he could go out there and take another level to his game and combine his skill set with throwing the football well down the field. He has no touch down the field, too many lasers. He has a good arm. I just don't think he's accurate or has that touch to be very effective through the air. But either way, Jets, you heard Francesa talk about it before. He thinks they're going to run the football, and that should lead to some success. Hopefully breed a positive culture inside out, run the football, and then rely on the defense. I think that certain players, specifically Sauce Gardner, are overrated on their defense, but I'd love to see it where Glenn can maximize their ability. Let Sauce run all over the field and chase down and lock down the opponent's number one wide receiver, and Glenn's going to let him do that. So I'm excited for football for both the Jets and the Giants here. I'm not going to let the schedule get in the way. I know Mike made a big point about that. Even if the Giants are better, you may not see it because the schedule's so hard. The schedule's hard. You know what? You got to win games. I mean, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the excuses. Their defense is supposed to be so great, big and bad, all that pass rush that they have there. Carter and Burns and Sexy Dex and Kayvon, go out there and make your presence felt. A great defense should be able to slow down, at the very least, a good offense. And you hope the Giants could have some consistency with their offense. That's where I doubt it. Neighbors is a stud. I don't trust Russell Wilson at this point, and I don't think the Giants are going to be able to run the ball enough. Maybe they don't want to run the football. But you heard Mike talk about the issues with their offensive line. If their offensive line isn't healthy, then I don't care how great a wide receiver they have or who their quarterback is. Could be Daniel Jones, could be Russell Wilson, could be Eli Manning. But I am still excited for football, holding out hope that both these teams will be better this coming season. 888-808-1019. Mike is calling from Manhattan. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Sal. I want to thank you for keeping the connection with Francesa. You heard him talk about Parcells. It's very hard to keep that connection. I'm grateful to you for keeping it going.
Well, but I appreciate you saying that. I just want to say that it's obviously not me. It's Mike taking the time to come on and being willing to come on. But it is something that I don't know if I want to say I'm proud of. Like, I just think that, like, I worked with Mike. First of all, I loved him as a listener, just like you did. And then I had the opportunity to work here at the Fan and kind of learned under him and was able to go on, be a part of his and Dog's show. And then when Dog left, work with him. And I had a relationship with him. And I always showed respect to Mike. So, I'm thankful and appreciative to have that friendship now, years later, where we just talk about sports, whether we're hanging out at Saratoga or on the golf course or through text. I love talking New York sports with the legend, and it's an honor to be able to call him a friend, but also just show him respect for what he did for this station and what I love to do. If not for him and Dog, I wouldn't be here because I wouldn't want to do it. So I love Mike, and I'm glad that
on the phone.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be on the phone.
Yeah,
but
well, there you go.
Let's get two things he said on Shane and Dable. They got two outs. In case the veteran quarterback does a little good or Jackson Dart shows something, they'll probably get them another contract. What happens if it's only six wins and we really don't even get to see Jackson Dart? Maybe he gets injured and something or whatever the reason. We really don't know. That's what I want to know about Shane Dable's contract because I don't believe in him at all.
So what do you mean? What happens if who gets hurt? What are you talking about? Russell Wilson?
Like say if they drag Wilson out to week 12.
Yeah.
And they show Dart, a little bit of Dart, but we still don't know what he is.
Yeah,
I still think 4 years we didn't know. 4 years we didn't know what Daniel Jones was.
Yeah, I still
We're
think,
still
Mike,
waiting to know what he was.
I believe, now I don't know this, I believe that you're going to get another shot next year with this regime, Shane and Dable and Jackson Dart. Now, I don't know that, but I just get the feeling that that's how it's set up from ownership. When they made the decision to keep both Joe Shane and Brian Dable and then select a young quarterback in Jackson Dart, which is something we've been begging and screaming and yelling and kicking for them to do for the last 3 years, whatever it is, when they first got here, I think it's set up now beyond this year. I would look at this as at the very least a 2-year window for Shane and Dable. Could be wrong. If they bottom out, maybe then they make changes. But I would look at this, me personally, if you do the math, it screams this year plus next. The hope is that they're going to be somewhat competitive this year, not just in the record, but game to game, week to week, show that they can be competitive and actually score some points. I mean, call me crazy. Is it possible to score some points? Maybe. Like, I've been a Brian Dable backer. Hard to back them when they win 3 games and the offense is one of the worst that we've seen, regardless of who the quarterback is. Figure it out. Move the ball. So they need to see those steps, like professional football steps, to a competitive level. And then forget the record-wise, but as long as they can be somewhat competitive and then transition to Jackson Dart and see some signs from Dart, then I think you're going to get that second year. But think about, let's just say worst case happens with the Giants. And I don't know what could ever make us think that worst case would happen with the Giants. But let's say, or the Jets for that matter, with New York football. Let's just say that it's worst case. Offensive line banged up, can't run the football, Russell Wilson's no good, whatever. Neighbors, if he's healthy, he's going to put up big numbers regardless. But it's just not working offensively. Defense is overrated. Tough schedule does get the best of them. And the Giants are winning 3 games this year, or whatever, 2 games this year. Is it going to be enough to say, well, okay, we'll transition to Jackson Dart, and then they bring Jackson Dart in at week 10, 11? And then if Dart doesn't show signs, then are they going to fire Dable? Like, I could see a scenario. It's got to be worst case scenario. But if they did, even if Dart comes in after the Giants struggle and they did go to Jackson Dart, do you really think that it would be the right move from ownership to fire Dable and then have a new regime come in? Or even at the very least, let's say they keep Shane and fire Dable and have a new head coach come in and kind of have the young quarterback Jackson Dart forced upon them like that. That's how you get in a bad way. And then it's going to be the same thing that we had with the prior regime forcing Daniel Jones on this current regime. Like, that's what happened. Daniel Jones was a Gettleman guy, and Jones was forced upon Shane and Dable. And we were yelling and screaming about it for 3-4 years here. And now it's finally they have their own guy in Jackson Dart, who's not going to start this year. But it wouldn't make any sense to do what they did in the offseason and then in the draft and all that stuff leading up to the season, only to have a new head coach in place for next year. I think this is at least a 2-year project. Fred is calling from Newton, New Jersey. What's up, Fred?
Hey, how you doing, Sal?
Good. How are you, Fred?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Now, I'm a Met fan for 55 years before you were born. And Frankie Montas, they got to release him.
They might.
He's just horrible.
Look, they're going to give him a chance here Saturday, Fred. That's his normal day to pitch. And they're going to give him a chance to pitch. I don't know if it's going to be as a starter. They haven't announced that yet. They've alluded to they might have an opener in front of them. Once you allude to that, to me, I would be surprised if Montas starts. I think they're going to have an opener go out there and then have Montas after that. I was reading the Post that talked about how they're going to have change his pitch mix maybe. Montas not using his most effective pitches enough. So they're going to try to fix him Saturday. If he does not get the job done Saturday, then I think all bets are off and anything's possible. But I do not believe that if Montas is not good Saturday, that he will be pitching in 5 days from Saturday.
Did you know what he did in AAA?
No.
His ERA was like 11 or 12 in AAA.
Yeah, Manaea wasn't good in AAA either. Like, I don't really get caught up in that necessarily, Fred, and thank you for the call. To me, it would be more about what he's doing up here. To me, it would be, forget about AAA. Look at what he did with the Yankees when he was here. Like, Frankie Montas sucking is the least surprising thing to happen maybe in New York sports history. Show me the person outside of David Stearns who's surprised that Frankie Montas sucked. And to David Stearns' credit, he wasn't here when Montas was here with the Yankees. He was awful. Cashman made the mistake of trading for him. He was always hurt. He was awful, even when he came back healthy. And surprise, surprise, he was hurt to start the year. And again, he's been awful. So I don't think any of us are surprised at it. I think the Mets thought that they could fix him. They thought he was a good value. Whatever the analytics that they see were similar to what the Yankees saw in him. And they thought they could fix him. Well, they thought wrong, at least for now. He's probably going to get one more shot. But if the Mets are who we think they are, and if they want to be taken seriously, and I think that they do, then I'm okay with giving him one more shot Saturday as an opener, with an opener in front of him, or if he starts the game. One more shot Saturday. That's it. It can't be anything beyond that. If the Mets have him and he goes out there and gets hit hard Saturday, and they have him take the mound again 5 days later, then I don't know what we're doing. Then David Stearns and Carlos Mendoza are not who I thought that they were. And the Mets organization does not have that accountability that we talked about. And they do not value winning the division. You can't do it. It's nothing personal with Montage. You got to start winning some games here. Artie's in Brooklyn. What's up, Artie?
Hey, Sal, thanks for taking a call. You're not the only one that says that Fields can't throw. But you're getting picked 12th. He's winning the NCAA championship. And then you're watching film, and you're seeing this guy make these throws. How are people saying he can't throw? You want to argue that he can't throw consistently, make those throws? But if I ask you, who's a better quarterback, Fields or the quarterback from Atlanta? I know you're a big Atlanta fan.
But which one
Why
are you talking
wouldn't
about?
Fields-
Cousins or Penix? Yeah, I think Penix has to prove himself, but I trust Penix to throw the football better down. I'm not just talking about literally can't throw it. Yes, Fields can throw it. I don't think he could throw it with the touch in the short windows, with the accuracy that needs to be had to be a successful quarterback through the air. I believe his greatest strength is running the football. Penix, while he might be able to run it a little bit, he could throw the football. And by the way, there were some reports, I saw Costos tweeting about this, that Kirk Cousins had a better camp. So, I'm not watching closely what's going on in Atlanta. But what I saw from Penix last year when he took over, to me, was more encouraging than anything I've seen with Justin Fields through the air with both the Bears and the Steelers.
Okay, so, I think it's worth the shot with Fields. I didn't know where they were going. And I think that's what the Jet year is all about this year, is to find out if Fields can be that quarterback. But as far as the coach is, I'm telling you, Glenn reminds me of the coach in Pittsburgh. I'm blocking out.
Mike Tomlin?
He's got that mannerism of way that he handles the media, how he handles the players. I really see him as a coach that could take us to the playoffs and win. All right, Sal, thanks for taking the call.
Thank you, Artie. And look, I'm not trying to say that. Like I don't mean Fields literally can't throw the football or he can't make any plays through the air. I remember watching him quite a bit when he first came up. I've said this before because I had him on my fantasy team. I forget what I did with the quarterback situation, and nobody cares about anybody else's fantasy team, but it pertains to the Justin Fields conversation here. I didn't have a quarterback. Usually I punt. That's my theory in fantasy. I'll punt the quarterback spot and get one late. And that year, the guys that I decided to take a gamble on, whoever it was, I forget, weren't any good. Fields was having a monster year, and he was available on the waiver wire. So I scooped him up. He was on the verge of breaking out, and I scooped him up, and then he did break out, numbers-wise, fantasy-wise. So I watched him a lot. And he could run it well, but when the Bears were down in those games late, and he was taking a beating too, didn't have a great offensive line with Chicago, he just, remember, even though he was putting up big numbers, at least as far as fantasy goes, and maybe primarily on the ground, they were losing. The Bears kept losing. And a big part of that was Fields could not beat the opposition through the air. That doesn't mean he can't make a play or two. And by the way, I hope he improves his game. That's the goal, would be that you buy at a certain level with Justin Fields, give him an opportunity to where, okay, we know what the foundation is with him. At his worst, he's going to be able to run the football and make big plays and be a weapon there. But you hope that he could read the field better, make the proper decisions better, and throw it into tighter windows. That was always my issue, where you get a guy coming out of Ohio State, and it looks great. This was, for me specifically, as it pertained to Dwayne Haskins when he was coming out, which is why I didn't want him. Anytime I watched the highlight film of Dwayne Haskins, he was throwing into windows where guys are open by 10 feet. So, yeah, okay, well, look at the results. Look at the completions. Look at the numbers. Look at the wide receivers he's throwing to. Sure, look at the tight windows that he's going to have to throw in the NFL versus what he was throwing in the Big Ten. Like, that's a big difference. So where Justin Fields was a great quarterback at college, it's a totally different game in the pros with the smaller windows. And what I've seen in Chicago and the little that we saw last year with Pittsburgh, to me, was not something that I would feel confident in saying that Fields is going to one day develop into, I don't know, you want to say elite thrower of the football or a great, pocket passer or a great quarterback through the air. You hope that he can improve it enough to where that dual threat can win you some football games. But I don't think Justin Fields will ever be a good enough thrower to be a true franchise quarterback. I'm not trying to knock him. I'm rooting for him. And I think the Jets can have some success with him at the helm. But ultimately, I'm not a believer in him being the answer long-term because of some of the limitations that I see with him throwing the football. BT and Sal on the Fan. Warrior calls we come back. 888-808-1019. If you live in New Jersey, your electricity rates are going up yet again. If your current cooling system is over 15 years old, get ahead of that rate increase now with a new high-efficiency Carrier AC system. There's only one company to call. My friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's air conditioning experts, and they have been for decades. Take it from me, you'll save money and stay cooler. These guys are true experts. Contact my friends now at edisonhvac.com. That's edisonhvac.com.
Baseball or football, WFAN runs the city. Yankees bats, Mets heat, Giants defense, Jets dreams. It's all here every day. The Fan, 101.9 FM and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
I'm Chelsea Messenger, helping you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. First 5 under 4 for -130 is the play in today's Reds and Pirates game. Paul Skeens starts for the Pirates and is one of the best pitchers in all of baseball with a 2.02 ERA. Brady Singer faces a pedestrian Pirates offense that strikes out the third most in the big leagues, which is good news for a strikeout pitcher like Singer. He just punched out 10 in his last start against the Braves. Bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetMGM app. Please gamble responsibly.
If something happens to you, what happens to your family? Will they struggle financially? Will they be able to afford the home you built together? With Ethos, you can get life insurance coverage in minutes. Get up to $2 million in coverage for as little as $2 a day. All online with no medical exam. Just answer a few health questions. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Rates may vary. Billed monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Lunch was great. Greenwich Village is a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's creoninfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Listen weekdays from 1 to 2 on The Fan for the call of the day with BT and Sal, brought to you by Wind Creek Bethlehem. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Oh, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Oh, wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide.
based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
Today, we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos?
These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Nick. Together, we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission, to bring your memories into the 21st century.
It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click.
Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands.
Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments.
Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/value and unlock 50% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value.
Town Fair Tire, Connecticut's largest discount tire dealer. Because we give you the guaranteed lowest price and we honor every manufacturer's rebate. We even honor all our competitors' rebates. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Before you begin your road trip, ask yourself, do you really need 5 full suitcases? With the new 2026 Kia Sportage X Pro's class-leading cargo space, you'll have room for what you need. Find out more at your local Kia dealer today. Keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely and obey all traffic laws. Comparisons based on second row legroom and cargo space behind second row seats in the subcompact SUV class according to Kia segmentation as of June 2025.
Some things are hard to commit to, like learning how to surf or saving for a family vacation. But one commitment that's easy, switching to Fios Home Internet with a 5-year price lock guarantee. That means 5 great summers of fast, reliable internet at the same low price. All with the Fios 1 gig internet plan. Plus no hidden fees or equipment charges. Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch today. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for new and existing My Home customers.
Getting engaged will be one of the most exciting times of your life, and the winning team at London Jewelers is there to help you pop the big question. They have the cutting-edge technology and trained professionals at London Jewelers to help you select a ring from their beautiful 2 by London collection, or even design the absolute perfect ring to fit within everyone's budget. So whether you're starting out or starting over, why not let the engagement experts at London Jewelers help you out? You could visit London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations, including the Americana Manhasset and the Ball at Short Hills.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. BT on vacation. He'll be back next week. 888-808-1019. Actually, I'm going to take off Monday because Friday I'm going to Saratoga, so I'm looking forward to that. Try to get in the big guy's box there, but NA, not available. Although, like Mike said, we've hung out there. Belmont weekend I was up there. I can't wait to go back to Saratoga in the actual summer. Belmont's great, but doing it in June, a little different than doing it in August. So I can't wait to go up with Saratoga Wills and hang out, have some fun, betting the ponies up there on Friday. So I'll be out Friday, but I'm also taking Monday off because I want to go see, well, A, because I get some days, and B, because I want to go see The Naked Gun. I'm going to take my wife to go see a movie. 2 birds, 1 stone. I get to see the movie I want, make my wife happy in the process. Hank is calling from Yap Hank. Have you seen The Naked Gun yet, Hank?
Yes, I have, Sal. And how you doing?
Good. How are you? What are we thinking?
If that movie lasts 3 weeks in the movie house, it's going to be a lot. Okay,
I thought
the
it was
movie
good.
is a big disappointment.
Wow, you didn't like it, huh?
And I love those movies, Sal. Okay, the other ones were drop dead hysterical. Okay,
yeah,
where you actually, this is really, really, really dry humor. In other words, it's funny. Okay, but you're not going to be hysterically laughing.
The problem I have now, I'm seeing it either way. I did, when I was talking to my wife this morning walking to work, tidying things up and making sure everything's okay. I was like, so are you sure you want to go see this movie Monday? Because I know my wife, she doesn't like, let's say, Will Ferrell. She doesn't have that drier sense of humor, and we know what The Naked Gun is. So that means she's probably going to hate this. I'm still holding out hope that I could get into it.
Your wife is going to hate it, Sal, but let me just make a couple of points.
She's very difficult to please.
Yeah. There's only 2 parts of the whole movie that you will be hysterically laughing. There are 2 parts.
Don't ruin it. Yeah, don't ruin it. No spoilers.
You know, I'm not going to say.
Okay.
I'm not saying nothing, okay? I'm going to wait for you to do it because I'm going to call when you see this movie. Okay, I'm going to call back, okay? And let's see if we can compare the notes to see if the 2 parts of the movie that we were in sync on, okay? But the one point I got to make, Sal, make sure you stay till the end of the credits.
Oh, I like it. See, I wouldn't think that. Like, if you go see
a key point.
There you go.
A key point, Sal.
If I go see a Marvel movie, I know that is something I got to do. But when you go see The Naked Gun, and thank you for the call, Hank, I'll let you know what we think of the movie next week when we come back. I'm going to see The Naked Gun. I'm not thinking stay through the credits. But now I will. I get the heads up. I'm looking forward to it. Hav, you going to see this movie, The Naked Gun?
Especially after what Hank just said. Hell yeah.
So you think it's going to be better?
I think it's going to be perfect. Dry sense of humor, like that's what it is. It's this slow played humor.
I'll tell you honestly, when I heard that it was first coming back out, I was like, oh man, that's going to be stupid. Now, I loved the original Naked Gun, 33 1/3, whatever the 22 and whatever it was, the second one. I love those. But I thought the remake idea was going to be dumb. I don't like Liam Neeson, especially in that role. Like Liam Neeson trying to go capture the guy who kidnapped his daughter. That's different. That's badass. Liam Neeson being Frank Drebin's son. Come on. But the coming attractions, or whatever you want to call it, the preview, the movie trailer.
Yeah.
That got me hooked. We were watching it, laughing, watching it.
Well, right. Then they bought into a couple things at the end of the trailer specifically.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing, too. For people that don't know, Leslie Nielsen, who was the original Frank Drebin, was originally like a very serious actor, and it took Airplane for him to take his comedic, path.
Look at you. Where's this expertise coming from?
I'm just a genius when it comes to movies.
I
and
didn't know that. Like,
stuff.
I couldn't name another movie outside of Airplane, which I haven't even seen, but I've seen enough clips, so I knew that he was in that. And then The Naked Gun. What else has he done? You remember him from other movies?
Not Bram Stoker's, but Mel Brooks's Dracula. Dracula Dead Loving It. That was another fantastic, terrible movie.
Is that a must-see? I should watch that?
I mean, it's Mel Brooks.
I like Mel Brooks. Yeah,
You're going to love it.
But he was serious in that or no?
No.
Okay, but you said he was a...
But it's a funny movie. Like, no,
give me the serious stuff that he was in.
I don't know. Okay. I just know that he was a serious actor.
Would you read that somewhere? How do you know? You haven't seen any of the movies,
I think I was talking to my brother-in-law about this. We go back
So now
and
we're
forth.
taking your brother-in-law's word for it? I mean, it's like you get your information with this, like, oh, yeah, the Vikings aren't going to sign Aaron Rodgers. Like, what's your brother-in-law telling you?
I'm telling you right now, I think he was in some, like, serious movies.
Dove, you have any knowledge of this with Liam Neeson? Not Liam Neeson, with Leslie.
Yes. No, I didn't know his serious movies, but I did know they said that about him when he did Airplane and The Naked Gun. Now, by the way, Naked Gun was really originally a TV series, Police Squad, I think it's called.
Yeah.
So it had 6 episodes only, but hilarious stuff.
Oh, who was the original character in it?
It was Leslie Nielsen.
Oh, he played it in the TV series, and then they took it on to make it a movie. Did not know that.
Worth seeing. Go see those 6 episodes.
Plus, for a young kid like me, like I'm assuming it came out in 88, 89, right in my wheelhouse, 9, 10 years old, it also incorporated baseball. I mean, when Reggie Jackson must kill the queen, strike, when you have all that, the umpire, like that is a classic. God, I love that movie. That was a great movie. I'd watch the original TV series if it's good.
Found one, and I can't believe I didn't remember this. He was in the original Creep Show.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that.
It's a horror stuff.
No, dude, I don't do the horror stuff. I told you.
What's wrong with you? You think the people that like horror movies go out and like murder people?
Yeah,
that's not true. I haven't murdered anybody.
I don't see how anybody gets pleasure out of watching anybody else.
I've never killed a soul.
I'm not saying that you're going to be a literal
killed
murderer.
like a bug.
Right, but what is it about your or anybody who watches this?
I'm going to kill that moth every day.
How can you enjoy?
I try to. I miss on purpose.
All right. How can you enjoy something that is like scaring you and gory and like
keeps me on my toes. It keeps me on edge. It makes me uncomfortable. That's good.
Yeah, it's not for me. I don't even. I've opened up my palate to that type stuff. You know, even the Last of Us, is that what it was called recently? Like, because there's some zombies in that. Like, I'm not a zombie guy.
Yeah, that's not horror.
No, but that's like for me. That's a big look. There's a big leap from Billy Madison to zombie movies. I'm a Billy Madison Tommy Boy guy. Now, I've evolved over the years. It used to be only Happy Gilmore, Billy, only Adam Sandler movies, only Chris Farley, those type movies. Naked Gun, Major League. Like, that's my thing. I love that. Love to laugh, love to have fun. Then I started to evolve, you know, and you start dating different girls and you got to pretend that you know a little bit more. Somehow I started stumbling across foreign films. And then I realized, oh, these aren't bad. I actually like these. And then, you know, you start watching the best pick noms. And then I get into that. So I've expanded my palette. Silent movie, The Artist, one of the great movies I've ever seen in my entire life. So I feel like I've opened my mind enough with these different movies over the years in the evolution from a 10-year-old to a 46-year-old. However, horror is the one thing I have no interest in. I don't need to see Freddy or Jason killing people or Mike Myers or The Exorcist or whatever it's called. Don't need any of that. Andrew's in Morris Plains. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, Sal, I just wanted to put my input. I saw the Naked Gun movie over the weekend, and I enjoyed it. I had very low expectations for this movie because I'm such a fan of the original, but it was very good. Liam Neeson was awesome in it. He was the right choice for that role. What I will say about the movie that I was impressed by was the humor. It really honors the humor from the original, like that kind of humor, that slapstick, dry humor, and it's there. And the audience was enjoying it, and I totally agree with you on one thing. There is way too much horror movies out there these days, but I'm glad to see comedy was back in theaters for once. It's been a long time.
Yeah, there you go, Andrew. I like that. Based off of the trailer, I thought that everything Andrew just said was going to be the case, that they're going to pay the proper tribute to the original and strike that chord when it comes to the comedic level of the film. Now, again, I'm trying to warn my wife. I don't know if she knows what she's getting into. You know what my wife wants to go see it for? Because of Liam Neeson and Pam Anderson. That's why. Because she knows that they're now having a true romance, so she's into that and wants to see how it, I guess, developed from the whatever. It's fine with me. I just want to go see a comedy. Enough of these, murder mysteries and all these dramas, because I'm constantly finding, I feel like that's the majority of stuff that's out there on TV now. By the way, it's only supposed to be, what, an hour and 20 or something like that, I think, which is beautiful.
Yeah, 125.
Yeah, and that's what a comedy should be.
Is that with the trailers in the beginning?
No, I think that's separate from the trailers. I think. I don't know. By the way, the movies are running at like 9 a.m. That's why we have to go see it while Sammy's at school. We can't go to the movies because we don't have a babysitter. We don't trust the babysitter yet. Don't want that. My mom's on Long Island, so she's not going to be around. So that's why I had to take off Monday. Sammy still has school, and she'll be in school for the couple hours, whatever it may be. She goes to summer school here. And we'll go check a movie. 9 a.m., watching The Naked Gun. Gary's in Plainview. What's up, Gary?
How you doing?
Good.
Okay, so a serious role that he played in. Well, I don't know. I guess I'm older than you guys, but I don't know if you remember the series from Disney with Zorro.
No.
Any guys remember that?
I do not.
The Zorro series.
I know
it was
Zorro.
Every week they had another. Every week they had another episode. So he played. Leslie Nielsen played Swamp Fox. Swamp Fox, good guy. He played a very serious role, and that was like in the continental, time, the United States. And he was, like I said, the hero of that series. And there were a number of them. There were like 3 major episodal type of shows that Disney put on every Sunday night, and it was great. He played other serious roles as well, but that stuck in my mind because I really love that.
Well, there you go. And it came out, Hoff tells me, and thank you for the call,
Yeah,
Gary.
the Swamp Fox came out in 1959. You didn't catch that one?
Must have missed that one. I mean, good for him. That's a reference point, but no, I don't recall. So you're going back. So 59. So 30 years later. What year did Naked Gun come out? Do you have it? It had to be like 89.
Yeah, 88. Well, Airplane came out first in like 80-something.
Okay. Well, that doesn't help. 80-something. Yes, there was a decade.
1980. 1980.
Okay.
Airplane came out. Naked Gun came out in 88.
Yeah. Okay, 88. So you're talking about 30 years later. Liam Neeson has been a great, well-known, serious, I'm going to come get you, track you down, and kill you actor. And now he's got to play this role. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm excited for it. All right, BT and Sal on the Fan. Finish up on the phones when we come back. 888-808-1019. 4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for the performance. Others drive them for the range. And some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. That's me. I like making the entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. Whatever your reason, there's never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. Escalade IQ, Vista IQ, Optic, and Lyric. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today. The BT and Sal Show is presented by our Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
It's Boomer and Gio, mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
This was as exciting as it gets, and to be a witness to 2 general managers that were pushing their chips into the middle of the table was awesome. You didn't feel like either one of them gave up the things that you were worried about them giving up.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Andrew Bogish with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The Milwaukee Brewers have the best record and best run differential in the majors. Their opening day payroll was just $108 million. They win through scouting and player development, which puts them front and center in the debate over a salary cap. Teams can win without spending billions of dollars. Make the bottom feeders copy the Brewers before capping the big spenders. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text BEACH to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BEACH to 42424. That's BEACH to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-4094. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-4094. That's 800-575-4094. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Sal Licata here, and wow, are we thrilled with the incredible job CertaPro Painters did on our house. So clean, so efficient, they actually listened to us and even satisfied my wife, which, as you know, isn't easy. If you've been putting off painting because of the economy or tariff worries, don't. Painting your house is the easiest and most efficient way to protect and raise your home's value. Do what we did. Call CertaPro Painters today.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
The Fun in the Sun event is on at Nielsen Dodge. Your new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram is here with 0 down payment, 0% financing available, and the credit help you deserve. Now that's fun.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Altitude X 4x4, just $359 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4, just $399 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
you can get up to $1,500 overbook value for any trade.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
So, for super hot deals and fun savings, remember,
fun is in the driver's seat. Make this the summer event.
With approval term Jeep 24 Ram 42 months due at sign Jeep 4654 Ram 4989 and tax tag 498 dock and DMV fees.
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down.
Don't let pneumococcal pneumonia break your stride. If you're 50 or older, you're at increased risk. So be proactive with Capvaxive pneumococcal 21-valent conjugate vaccine to help protect against invasive pneumococcal disease and pneumonia caused by certain types of pneumococcal bacteria. Capvaxive helps protect against the strains of bacteria that cause about 30% more IPD cases than any other pneumococcal conjugate vaccine in adults over 50, according to national-level CDC stats. Regional variations may exist. Don't get Capvaxive if you're allergic to the vaccine or its ingredients. Tell your doctor if you have a weakened immune system. Common side effects include injection site reactions, feeling tired, headache, muscle aches, and fever. Capvaxive does not protect against all strains. For more information, call 1-800-927-8888 or visit capvaxive.com. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Capvaxive. Need help paying for your Merck vaccine? Visit merckhelps.com. Sponsored by Merck.
Recovering from an addiction is an individual accomplishment. A young mother who chose recovery to care for her family. A high school athlete overcoming opioid addiction. A couple celebrating his recovery. Everyone's recovery is different, and there's no shame in asking for help. Call 844-REACH-NJ. Trained counselors are available 24/7 to help you find the recovery option that's best for you. Tell us your story, and let's begin your recovery today.
Call of the Day with Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata on The Fan.
All right, we started the show talking about baseball. Obviously, we're talking with Mike Francesa, a man who needs no introduction. You know his voice, long time, obviously, here on The Fan. He built this freaking place live from the Mike Francesa studios.
That's a long time ago, Sal.
Oh, not really that long.
You know, nobody cares about 1980. I know that. See, I'm a smart 70-year-old. I understand no one cares about 1987. I understand that. Hey, I'm very proud of what we did. I'm very proud of what the Fan did, what Dog and myself did, what the station has done, and I wish the station nothing but the best. But you know, it's always about the present. Just like baseball, it's always about the present. It's nice to honor the past, but it's always it's your time. It's not my time anymore. It's your time.
Well, my time might be up. Cart might be coming
not
back.
Not you personally. I meant you, the station. I didn't mean you, Sal. You know, you'll be running in and saying, Mike said I should run the station. I mean, you know, Mike said I'm the guy. I mean, that's you'll be running off crazy. No, I mean you as the whole station. You know, I think it's your time, not mine.
Yeah, well, Cart might be coming back. Are you coming back at all? Do we need to worry about that?
No, I'm not coming back. I don't know who's coming back, but I can tell you this, I'm not coming back.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun talking with Mike earlier in the show. In case you missed it, check it out on the free Odyssey app. I only wish that we asked about the Naked Gun. Either way, 888-808-1019, the number to call. We'll be doing some more football tomorrow as we finish out the week strong here. Nick Costos should be joining us. I know he's moving, so I don't want to take up his time, but I figured it'd be fun to talk to Costos a little bit on a Football Friday, get used to having him in his normal weekly spot here with B and BT, for the start of the football season. So if he's available, hopefully he could come in studio, and we'll get you set for all that's going on preseason week 1 with the Jets and Giants, and obviously just look ahead to the biggest storylines around the NFL. Dan is calling from Jefferson, New Jersey. What's up, Dan?
Hey, Sal. I really love listening to you, and I really appreciate your Mets enthusiasm. I'm a little bit on the opposite side. I'm kind of like pessimistic now. I just this team hasn't shown any type of spark, and the hitters just don't they're not aggressive enough with the fastball. They're not coming around. The fastballs are being pitched, and they're not connecting for some reason, and I just don't see the reason why.
Yeah, they're clearly thinking too much or second-guessing themselves or waiting for a perfect pitch and then letting fastballs go by. Yeah. Obviously, that cannot continue. But you say you're not seeing it. You're saying there was no point this year, prolonged point, that you felt like, wow, this team's a really good team.
Yeah, I mean, they won the 7 games in a row, but I mean,
what about April and May? What about April, May, and the first half of June? Like, I can't speak for everybody. That's why I was asking you. I know me, and I was looking at the team saying they're a good baseball team. I know a good baseball team when I see it. I believe that they're a good baseball team. That's how I feel. You never felt like that at all?
I did. On paper, they are, but they don't really all together as a team put it all together. You know, it's either one thing or the other.
They had. Go ahead.
They had moments this year. I agree with you on that, and it was exciting. But it's just that they don't. It's not sustained, you know, at this point. And the other thing too with the whole Montas thing, that was really a bad signing. And what's Stearns waiting for to bring up one of these guys? I mean, come on. These guys are pitching really well, you know.
But remember, Dan,
one of the young guys.
I think they're going to, and thank you for the call. They're going to wait. This is just my guess. They're going to wait to see what Montas does Saturday. If he does not pitch well in whatever role it's in, I firmly believe they will call up McLean next week and take that spot in the rotation. Now, you should know that even if that does happen, you got to have realistic expectations. McLean's not going to come in here and all of a sudden be Jacob deGrom or Matt Harvey. Now, he might be effective. Is he going to go 7, 8 innings? I wouldn't hold out hope that that's going to be the case. I don't know. The unknown is certainly appealing and far greater than what Montas has done. But let's not make it like that's going to end all the problems either. I don't care who comes up here. It could be Tom Seaver. If they don't hit, they're in big trouble. So then it comes down to, okay, fine. We haven't seen it consistently, but ultimately, would you take your chances now, September, October? Would you take your chances with Lindor, Soto, Alonso? My answer is yes. And that's why I wouldn't say being positive. That's why I'm not going nuts in a negative manner right now, is because I still believe those 3 guys will get it going and make everything else look different. Now, they haven't gotten it going to date together. Each individual, yes. Some more than others. But they have to get it going together. And I think that they will. That's the difference. If they don't, they're not going to win. Vince is calling from Old Bridge, New Jersey. What's up, Vince?
Sal, how you doing? First time talking to you.
Appreciate you calling. What's on your mind, Vince?
Big fan since the Mike and Chris days, so today was awesome.
Thank you. Glad you enjoyed it.
Yesterday, when you made a point about Soto yesterday, and I felt it, where you said that who would have known that you would have been this shocked and this disappointed at what was going to go down with him. And I'm a little bit more negative than you for a couple of different reasons with him. I think a lot of the reason why the air is kind of out of the balloon a little bit with them is because of him. He looks old. He's lollygagging it in the field. He likes to admire the home runs sometimes when he hits them. You know, he's looking old. He's looking slow. I don't think he's comfortable. I don't think he ever gelled with some of the other little things that they like to do too. You know, the up your symbol or whatever that is with the arm when it gets a hit, or the picture, the posing in the dugout with the home run. The other day on TikTok, if you saw a video, somebody is going around asking team members who's the best dressed. When they get to him, he says me. I mean, you know, this is like,
I like
what
that.
is it? Something.
Vince, I think
you like that?
I do. If that's how he feels, then yes. I'm not disagreeing with you. I think that what you're saying, there's some truth behind it. Now, I would disagree in saying, thank you for the call, Vince. I would disagree in saying that he looks old and slow. I don't see that. Juan Soto was not the greatest athletic specimen. He's just not, like Ronnie Mauricio has the physical tools to be a tremendous athlete. That's not Juan Soto. He's been fine in right field. He's been fine on the bases. He hasn't done what he's supposed to do in the batter's box. But he's shown flashes of it. Now, that's not good enough. You're going to have to get it done. And even in a down year, he's got 25 home runs. Remember, Carlos Beltran had, 15 home runs his first year with the Mets? So this is not an awful year, but according to Soto's standards, he has not been great. And I do agree, though, that his personality is not one that fit what the Mets were trying to do last year. Now, it's a different team this year, and maybe they wanted to keep that personality, that fun going. He's more business. I like that. I'm not saying you can't have fun, but I don't think everybody needs to be the same. Let him be him. If he doesn't want to partake in the photos or the celebrations, that's fine. I want him to be him. because he's a freaking beast that's unafraid and that has done it. Where's Pete Alonso's World Series ring? Where's Francisco Lindor's? Where's Brandon Nimmo's? Soto's got one. He's done it before in the postseason at the highest level against the best and the baddest that the game has to offer. He did it in the Bronx with the Yankees last year. Everybody says, well, the Yankees made the World Series last year. Yeah, they did. You know what? They had Juan Soto. Prior to that, they didn't make the World Series since 2009. They had Judge there. Judge been there since 2017. Now, I'm not saying that he was the sole reason, but he was a big part of what they did and getting to the World Series. Anybody would tell you that. So he's different. He's unique. And if he says, I'm the best dressed on the team, I like that. He just has not delivered in the biggest moments yet. But if you think that he will, then you should be positive about the team. If you don't think that he will, and you think it's going to be a lost year, and you don't believe Soto's going to get it going, then I can understand why you'd be down about this